Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think we were one of the better teams in the country last year in short yardage, and that's our plan is to carry that over again. You know what I mean? That's something that Coach Rule, our staff, Hogerson, especially Donnie, that's something that we pride ourselves in. That's probably the backbone of Nebraska football, I'd assume, is tough yardage, blue-collar football, go get it, right? That's kind of our mindset. And so we won't skip a beat there. That's our focus, and we plan to stay ahead of the pack in that realm.
I think it's attainable. I think that we keep working towards it every single day. I think it doesn't just happen in 1 year. I think it's just going to start, an accumulation of talent year after year through recruiting when people see what our offense looks like and how we're utilizing the tight ends and all the different things. I mean, you don't just come here and line up off the ball and block the backside inside zone. You get to run multiple run schemes. You got to learn how to pass pro. You got to learn how to be a route runner. You got to learn multiple positions. You got to get in big sets. You got to hear long play calls. So I think, you want to win and you want to be developed as a tight end that can produce at the next level. This is going to be a great spot for you to come.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm good. I appreciate your patience and your patience.
Oh, no problem.
You could have started without me.
Well, I would never want to go anywhere without you, DB.
And plus, I walk and talk, and you didn't want me to hear my voice all in the background.
No, I just wanted to wait for you,
No, I appreciate that, man.
Sometimes we go overtime. This time we started a little late. It's okay.
And what am I supposed to say? Gotta go?
Just be like, hey, bud, got to go to work.
Yeah. I wasn't about to say that.
Is that the one my guy works at, or is that the other one?
Yeah, this is Jace Graff. Yeah.
Was that? No, I mean Connor. Is that the one Connor works at?
Who's Connor?
Gillespie. Didn't you say he worked at one of the places you went?
No, that's All America. That's Sean Buchanan.
That was another meat place, though, right?
Yeah, but
okay.
These guys do it a little different.
Okay.
Little different, but kind of the same.
Okay. I just knew it was a meat place. That's all I knew.
Yeah, these guys process a ton. Like they do oinklets and beef and all sorts of other stuff. They have their own curing and they smoke and
nice.
Yeah, they also process.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
the other place just processes.
Yeah, this was my nice. They slaughter now.
Oh, okay. But they don't do like
cattle.
Stuff?
Sean and those guys are beef. Like their acquisition, they're moving trucks, getting shipments. It's a processing plant. These guys, while they process, they got a couple of other entities that they do. Okay. One is considerably bigger than the other.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So that was your pig place?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's a nice name. My pig place.
I'm just trying to know the difference.
Elmwood. I don't know why I rocked with this morning. I know they dropped off some stuff in Lincoln last week.
Yeah.
For a little smoking event or some food that university was using, and it reminded me that I really like these guys.
There you go.
I don't have any more Saturdays either. I'm out. So
yeah,
this Saturday we scrimmage. We got stupid pictures.
So you're all booked up after this.
Yeah, it gets hectic. I'm in Nebraska City today. I'll be in Lincoln. I'll be out tonight, and then I'm going to – what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's install and game prep for
what side?
For North.
Yeah, but for you.
And then Saturday we practice. He gave us Sunday off.
Okay.
But then I start the Channel 7 stuff.
There you go.
We're rolling. I mean, we're out here, right?
It's football season.
Yeah. My voice is coming back too. So I'm.
You know what else we have Saturday? We have real live college football on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm pretty gassed. So not as excited. So part of that dialogue, part of that conversation, right, is I think I did find some cut-ups that I want to use before the season starts.
On the defensive line?
Yeah, just philosophically how you can stop the run and different ways to stop the run. And I mean, sure, like, to BD's point yesterday, which I think yesterday and some of the stuff that we get in the stream that isn't always in agreement forces you to, if you're willing to entertain it, forces you to do your own homework, right?
I did a deep dive last night.
So I always appreciate when people don't just take Just don't pawn it off, right? So I'm thinking to myself, you know what, beat it. He's not crazy. He's not crazy. We've got some guys in the stream and gals, and they're definitely not alone, which is also what got me
Sure.
the catalyst, because I think the consensus is if these guys want to really stop the run, it should look like this, and this is what they do. And we start talking about fronts and and this, that, and the third. And so I'm like, you know what? He asked a good question. He said, you know, philosophically, I just don't see I can't envision the scheme.
Sure.
Which
that you're using a smaller front that to stop
97% of people in this country, so not worldwide, because it would be 99.99. It might even be that in the U.S., but there are enough football minds would think very similarly.
Yeah, need bigger guys to stop the run.
Or I want to see kind of envisioning what it looks like if I don't have these big plugging 1s and 3s. Right, just yesterday on a high school level, right? We got hammered last year with a certain formation by our opening opponent. We didn't like anything we did in it. And then we had to ask ourselves why. Because we just couldn't fit correctly, right? And getting washed. And so we had to really, really revisit that schematically. And it didn't have anything to do with body types. It didn't. So I thought to myself, I was walking to the car with Coach Queen, and you know, we're talking about some options, and you know, it just got me thinking how the college game, it's just changed, where you got probably, you know, 5, 6 what I call true passing teams, where could drop back 5 to 7 step, grip and rip that thing, right? You have a handful of teams that will line it up and just run it at you. You know, 2 back, 12 personnel.
We're talking in conference.
Or national. In general.
Okay, national.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people get an 11 or 10 personnel, they spread you out, and they run the ball. The vertical plays that they create are typically with superior talent, right? Or 50-50 balls. So I just think that's the way the game is generally moving. So I think we have to change our mindset too, right? This isn't the 90s. This isn't even the early 2000s. Like, if Miami's rolling out there with Vilma and, you know, Woolfolk and DJ Williams and, you know, Brump, you can get in the 4-3 playing under front. You can stop the run, right? They spilled everything. They ran like the wind, but they stopped the run with toughness, right? This is a Coach Snow thing. You stop the run with toughness. You defend the pass with talent. So that's a Phil Snow thing. So, and I agree with that, because he says it a lot more succinctly and better and quicker than what I'm trying to describe with just wanting to get after the run game, right? Because nobody can really understand what we're saying when I say, oh, man, you know, like, well, you stop the run in a 3 front. And like, good, big deal, man. That's you guys, right? Like, but it does start, like, if I had to boil it down to one thing, it is toughness. It is ingrained. It's driven. You're not going to run the ball. Now, what we get and play behind that is whatever, but it starts with a mindset. You know, before we wilted and caved in the fourth quarter, I tell people, we went into that fourth quarter, they had minus rushing yards, right? It's a really good football team. And so it's mindset to start with. So I want to do a couple of odds versus even fronts, and just schematically, whether you gap guys out or you +1, or there's lots and lots of ways to do it. You know, some people like bare front. Watch Nebraska versus Iowa last year, where, I mean, basically covered everybody up, played man, dared you to throw it.
Yeah.
Like that's really what happened, right? Oh, they were always +1. Always +1 with a free runner hitter getting them down into the box. And so, you know, to BD's point about schematics and how to defend it, do I want to be a team? Look at it like this. Do I want to be a team that can man you up and cover on the outside, cover you up outside the numbers, and use an 8th defender if I want to. That was Miami. It's kind of the Bears. Just depends on how good you are on the back end. Versus, do I want to play some variation of like quarters and try to fit in the run game that way, right? I'm sure Nebraska reps a ridiculous amount of time fitting in the run game out of quarters. Is that their preferred deal?
Oh, so that's challenging, isn't it?
Probably not. You better rep it.
So
Fitting in the run game out of quarters because you don't have an extra body. Not in theory.
So there's no like insurance. There's no everybody has to get their side
quarters
right.
represents how many? 4. Yeah. Right. So how many are you using in the back end? 4. Okay. How many does that leave you in the box?
7.
How do people typically like to run the ball when there's that many number in the box?
How do they like to run it?
No. Do they like to run it with 7 in the box?
Yeah, typically.
Typically more than not. Right. So the cat and mouse of it is really what BD's talking about.
Because 7 you can usually pick up. You got your 5 on your lineman. You got maybe 1 tight end or lead blocker, and then your running back has to be 1 guy.
Yeah, and don't get me started on using the quarterback.
Yeah, sure. Because that
quarterback run game eats up 7 in the box.
Yeah. Any type of
zone
read,
but
RPO.
Potentially RPOs.
Yeah.
That's where all that stuff was birthed. Right? So
because then you just glitch the numbers.
Yeah, so teams that can play in the 1 high and get busy are typically your better defenses. Because it's not just scheme, it's a numbers game.
Yeah, it's the math.
Yeah. I mean, and if the math. So I think Nebraska is going to be interesting. I think if they sat down and he took some truths, I'm sure you'd love to have Ty Robinson back.
Yeah,
you'd love to have Nash back. But my concerns, and I think in general, the defensive concerns should be more about youth, not size.
Yeah, and the inexperience.
It's the inexperience.
Especially along the front.
Yeah, you got converted conference guys. You got a guy playing out of position, going from the Big 12 to the Big 12 to the SEC to now the Big 10, whatever you want to call Oklahoma. That's probably more the concern.
Sure.
Than it would be just mass. But there's several ways to get around it.
I did a little bit of a deep dive last night because I was trying to find an example of what we're talking about, a smaller front that's quality at stopping the run. And I wanted to find it with the team that nobody would be able to come at me and be like, well, they're just so much more talented than Nebraska is.
Did you use a college or a pro team?
College.
Okay.
I wanted to have it as light comparison as possible. So I went back to last year's, and I found one that I think fits. And I think you'll like this one. Do you have a guess off the top of your head? I mean, it'd be wild if you got it right, but go ahead if you have one.
Good against the run, but undersized.
I think no 300-pounders.
Give me the conference.
ACC. If you get this, I might leave because it's pretty random. They were top. Let me bring up their stats here real quick. They were top 10 in rushing yards per carry. They were top 15 or 20. They were top 20 in yards allowed per game, and they were top 40 in rushing touchdowns.
Is it Louisville?
It is not. It is Pitt.
Oh, yeah, they're good. Hey, so funny. Watch them this year. They will be better this year defensively than a year ago. But to your point, that is vintage Narduzzi.
Undersized guys.
That is vintage Pat Narduzzi. He's a lighter, quicker, get on the move. Yeah, that is vintage Pat Narduzzi.
And before anybody tells
their linebacking core is, I think, one of the tops in the country. I should have known that. I should have absolutely known it.
And before anybody tells me, oh, it's the ACC, whatever, I just for comparison's sake, they played 6 teams in the top 60 of rushing offense last year. For comparison, the Big 10 only had 4 teams in the top 60.
Yeah. No,
so they played good rushing teams.
I'm just telling you. You don't have to sell me. I mean, that is vintage Narduzzi.
You want to know the heaviest guy that played defensive line for them?
Did he play the shade or the 3, or did he play
inside?
I will go. Shoot, he got drafted. I think if we're talking about, he's. I
believe so. Yeah.
He's You want me to get the exact number?
Just whatever you think it was.
287.
285 is what I have, Matt.
Yeah.
Fitzsimmons?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the heaviest guy. You've got two guys at 285, and then you've got a 280, a 275, a 275, and then guys in the 240s to 260.
Do you know what they do extremely well?
What's that?
They tackle.
Yeah.
They tackle. I mean, playing good defense and tackling is it's the buddy system.
Yeah.
It's, are you really good with vice drills? Do you understand where your leverage is and where's my help?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that's Narduzzi all the way.
So I think that was I haven't gotten to dig into the tape yet because I was trying to find the right team.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
But I look at this, I go, okay, Nebraska's actually bigger than this on the defensive line.
And Nebraska may not. The proof of concept isn't whether Nebraska can do it. It's it can be done.
Yeah. Yes. Right. And so it's showing like talent, like size, right? Because I could go find, there were some other teams that were, I think you could make the argument more talented than Nebraska is going to be up front. They've got guys that are projected as first-round draft picks and things like that. I didn't want to use one of those because that's easy to just be, oh, well, of course they were able to do it. Look how talented those guys are.
Yeah.
This is a team that I think it'd be hard to argue is more talented than Nebraska. Yeah, you have a draft pick in Fitzsimmons. I think Nebraska's going to have some draft picks off their D-line as well. I'm okay with that.
Really good on the second level, too.
Yeah.
Pitt. And they tackle. And, there's a couple of T's that I think matter when you really want to stop the run, and it comes down to toughness and tackling.
So the other thing that I was thinking about is, we were talking a lot about defensive backs yesterday and different responsibilities and things like that. And the other thing I was thinking about is how much does it matter, and how much impact does it have to be where if you can cover with fewer guys?
A ton.
Right? Like that's your quarters versus one-man high thing, right?
Like if the better Sierra Wright is, the better Nebraska's run defense will be.
And I know a lot.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I know a lot of times we think about that with pass rush. I don't know that we always equate it also to run defense.
Trust me.
Right?
Trust me.
And so that was the big thing that I was thinking about yesterday, which is like, okay, I know all the time. I'm like, okay, because that's the reason I want to be good up front with be like, hey, I can get pressure with 4, right? Because then I can drop guys back. I can do whatever I want to on the back end. But the reverse is also true, right? If I can man up and not worry about it, and Sierra Wright's going to lock somebody down, and let's say Andrew Marshall's going to lock somebody down, then I've got a lot of things I can play with in terms of either whether it's run defense or I can bring extra guys for pressure on the quarterback. That frees me up to do a lot. Then you start winning the numbers game again, right? Right. It starts flipping back in your direction. You'd be like, oh, well, I can pick up the quarterback because I've got the extra guy. I don't have to have him back in quarters.
Yeah, I would venture to guess, this is super anecdotal. The majority of the top-ranked offenses, I would guess their primary for personnel grouping is 11. I think it's one back, one tight end.
I would agree just from what I see.
Right.
I don't have numbers on it, but that sounds right. I don't think you see a lot of – I mean, certainly 2 tight ends, pretty rare at this point. 2 back is pretty rare at this point.
I like what Coach Satz said because it kind of gets lost in the deal. Shane, Coach Satz clip in the open about the tight end room and development, if you could – is that thing ready to go?
That can be in a second here.
Yeah, fire that. Watch what he talked about in the utilizations of the tight ends, and he kind of just, by the way, is getting to the backside on an insert. Just listen to this for a sec.
I think it's attainable. I think that we keep working towards it every single day. I think it doesn't just happen in 1 year. I think it's just going to start, an accumulation of talent year after year through recruiting when people see what our offense looks like and how we're utilizing the tight ends and all the different things. I mean, you don't just come here and line up off the ball and block the backside inside zone. You get to run multiple run schemes. You got to learn how to pass pro.
Okay. Just don't block backside, inside zone. You know how many turbos we have in a practice as a team that runs some inside zone? Hey, who's got backside? Who's got backside? Whether you insert with short motion, whether so the multiple things can be true at once. If you're not good at that yet, what are you doing in the meantime? And I think if they want to run the ball, which I think they do, I really think Nebraska wants to run the rock, then all those things have to start to come to fruition. So the more experience you get with those guys, the more complete you can be. So when you're moving new guys over, like a Harburg or, a Carter Nelson, or trying to develop young guys like Ingerson or Danny King or some of these guys, or, Echternach, who sometimes we forget about. Like the ability to be an extension of the offensive line is critical.
Yeah.
Which is one of the first things that I think Coach Holgorsen was comfortable with Donnie and Sad, is kind of the symbiotic kind of thing that those guys had.
Which you talked about yesterday too.
So
yeah.
Like isn't that weird?
Yeah. You brought up Donovan yesterday and how working with the tight ends matters with the offensive line, and
he's consistent, because when was the bowl? Yeah, December. In the lobby, he said the exact same thing. And that was from meeting him 5 weeks before that. Right. So it's something that clearly stuck in his mind about what makes that relationship functional.
I also kind of appreciated that he, and I like to be validated when I'm right about stuff. When he talked about the types of tight ends, right, where he's like, okay, Lindemeyer's the most complete in terms of what we ask him to do. Harburg's still learning because he's new to the position, and Carter's probably not really an inline guy yet, right? Which is exactly kind of what we described over the last couple of days.
When we break the huddle, that's
right?
that and the other.
Like, when you break the huddle, you don't know what's happening if Luke Lindemeyer's in the game. You might have a better idea. I mean, you have a much better idea if Carter Nelson's in the game, I'd say, and somewhere in between with Heinrich Harburg.
Yeah.
Harburg's versatility makes it a little bit more challenging, but he's not going to be the same as a Lindemeyer at this point.
That was the Markway clip, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Shane, I think it's, testing my memory, it's 4 or 5. It's sat on Mac. Is the clip young Mr. Lulla is talking about.
On Mac's injury?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
He comes and eats with us every day, and he's, he doesn't come to all the meetings because he's doing rehab and stuff in the training room, but he's around the guys all the time. He's at practice. He's on the sidelines. He helps me do personnel. He's there helping coach the young guys. So he's staying involved. It was bad. Once you heard what happened, it was terrible. It was a tragedy, but we're here for him, and we're going to get through it, and we're all going to be better for
it. Shane, try 4. I think it's 4.
Yeah, I knew it was 4 or 5.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was wondering what y'all were going to ask me, and I was thinking about that just walking in. It's cool because they all have, they're good at different things. Luke is, really, he can do basically anything as the tight end position. He catches the ball really well. He runs good routes. He understands time and spacing. He understands footwork and blocking. He's got the best pad level. One of the guys that has the best pad level I've ever coached. So, he's rolling right along. And then you got Heinrich, who's just straight ahead speed is ridiculous, 22 miles per hour. The ability to catch a football, the ability to understand the passing game, more than most tight ends do. And then Carter, who's just, a super athlete, big, explosive, can change directions, good route runner. And then now he's transitioning to kind of like Heinrich did in the spring, because, Carter didn't get to do any of that this spring. So he'll catch up, and he'll start making big leaps here moving forward in the next couple of weeks.
It's kind of how I feel about them defensively too, where you have some guys where time is going to matter in terms of their impact. Like, they just need a little more time to get acclimated, where this team could look not drastically different by Michigan.
But you think they're going to get better?
But will be markedly better.
Yeah. Just
because they're young and or should I say inexperienced and young to some degree, and in some critical spots. But I mean, they're not gonna get. When you think Cincinnati, and we'll get closer to breaking them down next week again with Coach not our set, their set, Scott, with how they want to utilize Sorsby. That's inside zone. It's outside zone. It's QB run game. Like, that's how they're gonna attack Nebraska. It's zone schemes.
Yeah.
And so you're not gonna get
ram it down your throat.
No.
Right.
No.
In which case, being a little lighter, more mobile up front actually could be useful.
And I think, and the reason that zone was even implemented was to negate some of that anyway. Movement, stemming, because zone, you can teach it a little bit different, whether you're 2x2 or you all step the same or whatever, right? It has its little nuances, but it's to move gaps. It's to move gaps. And so, I mean, Nebraska, it'd be a good test because they see it a ton, with their own offense.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be the true measure because it's a little bit different than kind of how Michigan would do it.
Yeah.
Similar maybe to how Minnesota would do it. But even Minnesota, I mean, contrary to popular belief, is still inside-outside zone. Theirs is just built on attrition. Like, they just do it so much that they wear you down. And so there's just aren't very many teams that pose the kind of hypotheticals that we keep working ourselves up into a quandary about.
I mean, it's basically Michigan, Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And
even Iowa's a lot about is a lot about wearing you down.
that's a lot of attrition.
It's ton of zone.
But it's
Ton of zone.
a little more.
Nah, I do like their backfield though.
Yeah. Iowa's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like their offensive line. So
Yeah.
when you're well coached like that, I mean, the ground game,
It can feel more punishing.
it wears on you.
Yeah, it can feel more punishing.
Because you fit. That's one of those ground games where you feel like you can fit it right, and you wake up and it's 2nd and 6, and you're trying to figure out how.
Yeah.
Like, I know I fit that right.
Well, or it's like last year, right, where it felt like Nebraska fit it right over and over and over again, and then they didn't once and they lost the game, right? Like, that's basically what we saw at the end of Iowa last year. They did it right 98% of the time. They didn't do it right once, and they lost.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the other part of a team like Iowa where you have to do it right every time.
Yeah. Hey, Shane, bold. I'm trying to read what M2 said. Bold that so I can read what his question was. Damon, what do you need to average on the ground per game in order to be a team that can reach its goals this year? If so, speaking specifically about Nebraska, I think I'll try to ballpark it if I'm reading that right. It's got to be more than $150. $150 sounds low.
So let me give you a frame of reference of where
for me
is where $150 would have got you last year.
I think that sounds low.
So nationally, $150 would have got you about 80th in the country.
Yeah, now you start to get into the one because I looked at this 2 years ago with Nebraska, Georgia, and Michigan.
With the touchdowns.
Yeah, where Nebraska was like 12 yards below Georgia. They were 1 full yard ahead of Michigan.
Who we loved their run game.
But Michigan had 4 times the rushing touchdowns. So Nebraska wasn't.
It was like 11-43 or something.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like,
legitimately.
Yeah, it was something
legitimately.
Like
I think Nebraska's got to be north of 160.
So 160 puts you in the.
I think you got to be 163, 164 in that area.
163 puts you at 66th nationally, somewhere in that range. So you're talking about last year.
What's the difference between 163 and 168?
Looks from 53 to 66.
Okay, so that's 5 yards is 13 spots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it gets pretty tight in there, but so for that reference, 168 gives you somewhere in the neighborhood of like SMU, who ran the ball well last year. Ohio,
and sometimes M2 or sometimes Mike, it's not about the raw data, but I do think total yards per game has to be. You have to kind of think about that.
You think at least 160 though?
Yeah, has to be north of 160.
Ohio State, who we liked all their running backs and had a little running quarterback.
Yeah, Trayvon Anderson's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, not bad.
You go for 160 a game. That puts in just the backs. That's over 1,900 yards, right? What is that? 19
over 12.
20? 19 20. What's 16 times? It's 160 times 12. 1920.
It is 1920.
Yeah.
Good fast maths.
Easy. That's a Calebism. 160 times 10 is 1,600, and then I took the remainder times 2.
That makes sense. You got
Easy
that
math.
Common Core stuff over there.
Yeah. 1,600 and then 160 times 2 is 320. 1,600 times 3 plus 320 is 1920.
For reference, Ohio State was at 166 last year.
See, it's not crazy.
Indiana, who I think we liked how they ran the ball, was at 165.
Yeah, it's not. I like it's pretty smart.
Yeah, no, I mean we're in the neighborhood there. That we
Pretty
are
smart.
firmly, but that would have to put you for what I gave you on the rushing stats of Big Ten teams last year. You probably have to be top 5 in the Big Ten in rushing.
If Nebraska wants to reach its goals,
to 165-ish.
Yeah.
That's going to put you top 5 probably. Last year.
Did you watch USC's fall camp with Lincoln Riley?
Mhm.
It kind of slid in the fact that they need to run the ball better.
Yeah.
I'm like, Fudge, Marks was pretty good.
I'll say you liked their running back too.
He was sweet.
Yeah.
And, I mean, some of those little nifty runs they had against Nebraska, I was like, damn.
You know, part of the thing, though, with Lincoln Riley is he's a big, I need my QB to be able to run guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And Miller Moss wasn't that.
He kind of gives you that vibe, doesn't he? Where you
I mean, just historically, right?
Yeah, whether it's Mayfield or Hurts
or
or
Kyler
Murray, like they
Williams.
they have that component.
Who are
Even
the
though
two-
he didn't use Williams as like a runner,
No, he ran a lot on his own though.
but he does strike me as
So
that's why I'm hoping.
who are the two guys that didn't do well for Lincoln Riley? One at Oklahoma, one at USC.
Well, Miller Moss is one.
Yep.
And then Oklahoma, you're dating me, so we're talking pre-Georgia Bowl. He left, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
I can see him.
Down in New Orleans now.
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do those two guys have in common?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
runners.
Yeah.
Spencer was mobile, but not a runner. He wasn't going to run.
Do you know what I envision? This is so dumb, but
Mm-hmm.
this is how my mind works. When he completed the skinny this weekend down the sideline,
Mhm.
and he kept running down the field, and he was doing the first down.
Yeah.
So I was seeing him in a Saints uniform and not
Oklahoma.
But
I was going to give you the Marcus Satterfield, South Carolina hit if I.
Yeah. Sat's very interesting. You sit him down over dinner or something and have him tell you about the Rattler experience. I understand why that offense took a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very insightful. That's why I try not to really make any sweeping judgments because you just never know what's going on behind the scenes when you watch something.
I got the sense, and I don't know if this is what Satterfield would say. I got the sense that Rattler could be a little challenging to coach sometimes.
I mean, it's whatever.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know a ton about him. I did watch like the Netflix doc and things like that when he was in high school, and he gets suspended out of nowhere.
But he loved it, like his he was a loyal to the soil guy too, which is what I think helps that hang in there. Yeah. Like
so that's the thing is obviously he's got some controversies and stuff, but like he seems like a guy people tend to like. I just think he can be hard to coach.
Yeah. Can you do me a solid?
Yeah.
I know he had the one touchdown. What EJ rushed for last year? 3-something?
Let's bring it up here. Emmett Johnson's stats. Boom. Okay. We had last year for Emmett Johnson, he had a little more than that. He had 598.
Okay, 598 with a touch, right?
One touchdown. 5.1 per carry, though. I'll take that.
Okay. So let's stay right there.
Okay.
Let's stay with the 5-1.
Mhm.
And you get, I'm going to operate on the low end, 17 carries.
Okay.
Will you take 105 out of your RB1 per game?
Absolutely.
What's 105 times 10 or times 12? So 105 is 210. 210 plus 1,050 is 1,260?
Mm-hmm.
I'd take 1,260.
Out of Emmett?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And 17 is low. I didn't want to.
So
I'm not going to fast forward and be like, it's a 23, 24, 25 carry.
Where
guy.
did you get 105? Because 17 times 5.1 is 86.
Is that it?
Yeah, 86.7.
I don't know.
Okay. So 86.7 times 12 puts you at 1040. Would you take 1040 out of Emmett?
I would take 1040 out of Emmett if I need another 700 from somewhere out of the backfield.
Yeah. Well, we need another 900 out of somewhere out of the backfield. If you're getting 160 a game.
No, because I'm not counting just the backs.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So just backfield only, you need 700.
Yeah.
So can you get 500, 200 from 2 other guys?
This sounds petty, right?
Yeah.
But I do think as a coach, that's how you have to look at it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes – because you're not getting – I mean, you start off with, hey, I think I need 1,900 rushing yards, right?
Yeah.
And you break that down. You say, okay, I think I can get 200 out of gimmicky wide receiver, quarterback,
a reverse,
whatever.
a QB scramble.
We'll call them miscellaneous plays, right? Yeah. So you need 1,700 out of true running game. So you go, okay, I'm not getting 1,700 out of one back in all likelihood, right? That'd be incredible, but not going to count on that.
Well, if they got 1,700 out of one back,
we're having a whole different discussion.
Yeah, you're like looking at tickets to see what seed you are.
I'm doing my lap on my 10 and 2, right? So,
wouldn't that be something?
Like, it'd be hilarious if that's how it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for all the doom and gloom, and there's no way. Like, we're like acting like there's just no way somebody's going for 1,700.
I mean, and also, until I don't know, a month ago, I was pretty blah on this running back room.
Yeah.
I mean, so it'd be.
No, it's aggravating.
Yeah, I know it bothered you a lot.
Yeah. Like really pissed me off. But everybody said I was so bothered by it.
Yeah.
Remember the one day I asked Shafe, I'm like, you guys continually taking a duker on this running back thing. Like, what is it? And I think what his response was dead on. Mm-hmm. He's like, look, man, look what we're comparing it to.
It's the frame of reference.
This is Nebraska. Yeah. Like, this is what we're accustomed to.
If you don't have Amir Abdullah at bare minimum, you're like, what is this guy?
And I was like, oh, okay.
Which makes sense. Which I think is what I meant when I say they've got guys that are
I think that's why we get mad at Coach EJ.
Yeah.
Right? Because we want that dude to walk through the door. And I'm just here to tell you, the last meaningful guy that we had that we actually revered as a runner was not recruited as the blue chip runner.
Yeah.
The next guy after that was not recruited as the blue chip runner. And I'm not talking about Rex. Because I don't think we look at Rex's rushing career and we're like, ooh, we want our guys to be like that.
No, we want them to look like Amir.
And who's the guy? Who's the next guy I'm thinking of?
Same era?
Yes.
Halu?
Correct.
I like Roy Halu a lot.
Did not come in with
no bells and whistles and blue ribbons and.
So I always felt like.
And Amir, like we said yesterday, was the third back in a recruiting class that was an afterthought.
I mean, when did he say yes?
Late.
I mean, it was the last month of the recruiting cycle.
Yeah. Well, everybody.
Where was he going? UAB?
Yeah, UAB. Because that was the only other place that was going to let him play running back. Everybody wanted him as a defensive back.
So it's like
he had some late interest from SEC as a defensive back. Nebraska was the only power school that wanted him as a running back.
So I think we sometimes misremember. I mean, not everybody's going to get the top back or player in the country out of Wichita or Omaha Central that's cool.
But you could have a guy like, we like EJ, but a guy that's really flown under the radar until recently is Mekhi Nelson. He was there all year last year. We didn't really talk about him much. It was like, he's not quite ready. He's a little undersized.
And if Mekhi pops, that was an EJ guy all the way. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Coach Rule too, right? Both those guys, like personally, loved him. So it's, I don't know. I worry more about. This is dumb because I don't want to pigeonhole the numbers. Mm-hmm. I'm more about balance than I am raw data.
Sure.
I want to be because at the end of the day,
within the backfield itself or the offense in general.
The offense in general.
Okay.
Because the only thing that if you just pinned me down and was like, what's going to matter the most, and I would tell you, Nebraska has to be able to run the ball when they need to, not when they want to.
Yeah.
If Nebraska can run the ball when they need to and not just when they want to, you got a chance to really cook. Like, that's the difference. I'm talking 4-minute offense. I'm talking red zone.
I'm talking game away, get the 3 yards on second or third and 3 at the 19-yard line.
Because you know what happens with a team that isn't used to winning a lot of close games? Mm-hmm. Running the ball when you need to is peaceful.
Gives you confidence.
It's peaceful.
Yeah. Calm.
Yep. It's like, I know we can go to this. So it does things for you emotionally.
Does it feel more steady?
Yeah.
Like it feels more steady
Yeah.
than the passing game if you're not used to winning.
It's like the opposite of X Ambassadors.
Little unsteady.
Correct.
Yeah. Really more of a jungle guy myself from X Ambassadors, but
Do I know that song?
maybe not. It's a good song. It wasn't on the radio time. It's a really good song though. It was one of my favorite.
If it wasn't on the radio and it was X Ambassadors, I probably didn't catch it.
It didn't sound like the rest of their songs. It was a little different vibe. It was one of my favorite lifting songs actually.
Oh, so it has some tempo to it?
Yeah. It was a little bit more upbeat.
No, I'm cool on
It wasn't
that.
like Renegades or anything.
I'm cool on that.
You big Renegades guy?
Do I know that song?
Probably. I'll play it for you during the break.
Nah, sing it.
I don't actually really remember how it goes. Hold on, let me think.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay.
Living like we're renegades. Hey, hey, hey. It sounds a little like,
I know that song.
Yeah. It was on a lot of like Jeep commercials when they came out with
It
that
sounds like that one group that
Lumineers.
my old part. Yes. Oh my gosh. I was about to say it sounds like the group that my old partner used to like. He's a big Lumineers guy.
Right, exactly.
That's weird.
You know what it was? Is when I did the hey, 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 I was like, wow, that sounded a little bit like the Lumineers in my head.
Remember when he came in bebopping to that? Because I hate when people, first of all, people that talk on their speakerphone
Yeah.
in public ought to go to directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect
Straight
$200.
to jail.
But this dude came in like playing music.
Oh, that's wild.
I'm like, man, shut that off. I don't want to hear that.
Not a big Lumineers guy.
Most people at 540. You know what I mean? I can't stand that. I do want to know why people.
Which one was it?
It was. They were new.
No, I meant which partner was it?
Not the light skinned guy.
I figured. The Lumineers skew a certain demographic.
It was all I could do to get him to talk early. Dude, come in there and just be banging away on the keyboard. You good, man?
I feel like a penguin.
Working.
Michael, you
You know what was my favorite?
guess we're not gonna talk.
You
I'm
know,
cool.
You know what was my favorite thing about filling in with Michael?
What?
Every time he'd like have me fill in, I'd be like, hey, like I text him day before, like, hey, anything you want me to be prepared on?
Same thing you'd ask me. Yeah.
You know, he's got like the notes, right? Like he's got like a TV script basically. And I'm like, hey, so I know he's got his stuff. I'm like, hey, anything you want me to like be prepared on, whatever. He's like, nah, I like to see your reactions live.
They used to do that to me all the time.
I'm like, all right, bud, I guess that's what we're doing.
They used to do it to me all the time. Kevin started it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I like you better off the cuff. I'm like,
You sure about that?
well, you have to be able to reel me in.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't, I mean, we'll end up talking about.
Clearly, it's something I'm very good at.
Man. Lucky we're not talking about cartoons or something. Which, by the way, Shane, I started Hulk Smash with the Shields comic or cartoon.
Is it good?
It's pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Not a big Red Hulk guy.
Speaking of cartoons, you see they're doing an Archie movie?
No, I'm not in on Archie.
Not an Archie guy?
But I like our Archie. And
Wilson?
I get it. Yeah. But no, I'm not a Archie. He that was the Jughead people, right? In Veronica?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the show that they put on CW.
Is it? Do they have an Archie show on CW?
Who knows?
They did it one time, yeah.
What's the cartoon I'm talking about? What's the comic, Shane, I'm talking about?
That's,
Veronica, Archie,
yeah, there's
Jughead.
like 15 different titles for that.
I'm telling you, there was one of those shows on CW.
There was.
I
Yeah.
believe you. I just don't remember. I'm not a big like CW.
I think
show
it was-
I think I caught it because that was thank you, High Danger Riverdale.
Yeah, it was the.
Oh, that's an Archie thing?
It's the high school.
Yeah.
Oh.
Name of the high school.
I had no idea.
Somebody's gonna tell me I'm wrong, but I think so.
I'm today years old. I had no idea. I thought that was just some random CW show.
Who hit me with the craziest today years old yesterday?
I'm gonna Google Archie and Riverdale.
Archie, Veronica, Jughead.
You know a lot about those guys.
I used to read the comics. I was a comic book guy. I read.
They crossed over.
I read Dagwood, Hagar.
They crossed over in the
Hagar the
Marvel.
Horrible.
It was like X-Men versus Archie or something like that.
Calvin and Hobbes.
It does say, at least Google's AI is telling me it is based off the Archie comics. So you're right.
Thank you.
Nice. I had no idea. I thought it was just some weird CW show.
Do you know the only reason that I know that?
Big Archie guy.
No.
Big Riverdale guy.
Do you know who used to call me Jughead?
Who?
Clinton in high school. I know it's misshapen, man. So I'm self-conscious.
And don't forget about Betty and Veronica.
Yeah, which one was? Nah, I didn't get into it like that.
The Vers Clinton story is like one of my favorites.
Oh, that's 100% true too.
Oh, I believe it. I think he told me that story maybe like 8 years ago or something. I don't know if it
Yeah, Vers is nuts too.
On air or off air.
And I knew he thought he was going to be all good in the neighborhood. I'm like, okay. All right. You know what time it is. And it's close to the weekend.
You got to be careful. Got to be careful here.
I agree. I wish I could read the name. Hoof-hearted. Calvin and Hobbes was legit. It's one of my favorite cartoons of all time.
My brother was big into Calvin and Hobbes.
Just funny,
Yeah.
snarky.
So yeah, I'm not like that. I don't like snark.
Like who does he think is even buying that?
Oh, Richard Hole.
Yep. Basically.
Stang Nooner says he has a Calvin and Hobbes tattoo on his calf. All right.
Yeah, he strikes me as a tattoo guy.
Calvin and Hobbes guy. There you go.
Man, the calf tattoo is a thing.
Yeah, I don't.
I just saw my man walking.
Who? Oh, one of the guys.
Scott, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I told you about his.
He's all tatted. Yeah, I've met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him at CWS. He's all tatted up.
He got that's a lot of ink.
Yeah.
How about our guy out here in the kitchen?
Oh, yeah.
Arm, chest, thighs.
That's pretty standard for line cooks. Or for
I don't
chefs.
know, man. If I get that much ink on my body, man, I know I'm in for a couple 5 grand.
Mhm.
I'm going naked. You're gonna see my ink. Like, why would you spend that much money? I'm exaggerating, of course, but not really. Like,
Well, you gotta understand.
You wear short sleeves a little more often?
why get the ink if nobody can see?
Sometimes it's for you, man.
I'll take that.
You know.
The girl with the dragon tattoo.
My one
Elizabeth?
that people never see is for me. Like I've got one on my shoulder, and then I've got this one, and I've got one right here.
Well,
This one's for me.
okay. I
Don't
won't.
matter to me.
I don't have any ink.
Although I will say I don't understand the ones like back tattoos. I don't really understand because like then I can't even see it. You know what I mean? Like I can't even like.
Yeah, I don't have any ink. I finally pulled my earrings out the other day.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't put them in. The only reason I put them back in is when Zoe got her ears pierced. I wanted her to see that it didn't hurt.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah, and I hadn't worn them for 30 years.
Yeah.
And it still works.
The hole's still there?
Yeah.
They didn't close up?
Mm-mm.
Oh, weird. I thought usually they closed up at some point.
No.
I don't know.
Zoe stayed open. Listen, when I tell you 30 years, 27 years. I took them out when I was probably 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
23.
Really?
Mm-mm. I didn't even have any. I had to take the kids.
When I was younger,
and prayed that they didn't turn my ears green.
Yeah, when I was younger, I wanted earrings, but never happened.
I'll put them back in at some point.
Do it. You start rocking them. Although it's kind of with the headsets, it's not great.
Well, my ears always hurt too, which is why I took them out. Because I didn't take them out until Monday.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sick of these. But you know what happened? I hadn't had them on. I had them on so infrequently.
Yeah.
That I no longer was used to it.
Oh yeah.
Because even when I coach, I have the one that's open.
Oh yeah.
Which is the one I prefer.
We'll get it changed up. We'll get some new headsets at some point. Figure it out.
I'm cool with that.
Maybe some new mics. See what happens.
Will it make me talk louder?
Maybe. I don't know.
Shane, am I crisp this
You
morning?
are pretty crispy today, I think.
You like it?
It sounds crispy in my ears.
Sasha said, eat that thing. I said, other people use it. I will not.
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
I got to get back to some of these coaches' comments after we take a break.
Speaking of tattoos and piercing, amazing. Daniel says bunch of heathens, tattoos and piercings.
Yeah.
I saw a guy.
That dude looks like a marker board.
I know. Did you see the guy that pulled out the motorcycle that ran the light in front of us?
Yes.
That looked exactly like Amazing Daniel.
Hey, so
you're not in town, are you?
It was mid-morning. Like, what was he on?
I don't know. But he had like the long flowing hair.
Listen, people run that light
all the time.
All the time.
It's a long light too. Did you
Like-
see me in there? I was like,
all the time.
yeah, I was waiting. They run it a lot.
I mean, something bad's got to happen at some point, don't they? But there's nothing really blocking your sight lines.
So you can see what's coming.
You can see what's
Yeah.
coming, but
and then make bad decisions at that point.
people, like, they run that thing like crazy.
You can make well-informed bad decisions.
What'd Lee say?
Lee says, shout out Riverdale, Nebraska. DB probably watches at 2 a.m. because he gets bad shows at that hour.
I don't remember the last. So I did look at one this morning.
No.
Yeah, it was like 10 after 4, and it was called, it was on Prime. I think Gator Lake.
Oh, no.
But the reason it was Gator Lake is because I was going to watch this other show called Hunted, and it's about these immigrants that were getting this boat ride, and their boat capsized, and like these rich people on the yacht picked them up, and he had like this super sweet house, but turns out that he wanted to hunt them.
He was doing like a most dangerous game thing.
So it was like others from this director or whatever, and Gator Lake was on there, and I was like, I wonder if this is bad CGI or like a legit looking gator. If it was a legit looking gator, I would have watched it. But of course, it was really bad CGI. So Lee, I'm learning. I did not do it.
Amazing Daniel says we all look alike. I mean, listen, it was even like the style of hair looked like his too. Like the I don't know how to describe it. It looked a lot like Amazing Daniel.
Daniel, is your wife's hair still dyed? I just want to know. Last time I saw her, it was green.
Although he did not have the like Pirates of the Caribbean bandana thing that Daniel does sometimes. So
yeah, he's a weird cat.
I know Daniel wouldn't be running in.
I think deep down he hates Aaron Rodgers so much he's cheering against the Steelers.
I think he does too. I think he is too.
He hasn't said one good thing about the Steelers.
Well, some people have lines they won't cross, and apparently Aaron Rodgers is.
Are we doing our NFL next week?
Yeah, we're gonna do NFL next week. We're gonna do our picks. We're gonna do our worst to first. We're gonna do our division.
My worst to first was so easy.
Yeah, I felt like I had a shot last year. I got it wrong.
So easy.
I'll be interested to see what you get this year.
I want to. Do you have any surprise divisional winners?
I'm not sure yet.
I think I got a hot take, and I'm gonna hate myself all year.
You got a hot take?
And I'm gonna be pissed.
Big Giants guy.
He said bright pink now. Wow. Wow.
That's TB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live after this.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
for your family. You know, this place means a lot to you. Your dad's name's on the stadium. You grew up, your childhood was going to his NFL games. So when you think back to your childhood and those experiences, how much did that shape who you are today?
I think a lot of it helped, you know, where I'm at right now. To be around that kind of atmosphere and that level of football play. I didn't understand it back then, but now to look back, it's like I'm very grateful I had that experience. To be around great football players like Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson and a bunch more. It was just a cool like lifestyle to grow up in, of going to games on Sunday and then kind of like just celebrating. We didn't know what we were celebrating, if they won or lost, but we're just like, Dad played again and let's go home and celebrate because he's been working all week and it's kind of our time to see him before we go to school. So it was a cool lifestyle. It was fun, and you know, I'm very grateful for those experiences.
Well, I think it started out with just fundamentals, you know, guys. Like, football is football, and I said it in my first press conference. You know, Kansas City has great football, but being in Nebraska, they love football, which I love, and I think it's a special place. I hope I answered your question.
What have you seen from Jalen George? You know, he's in that green jersey and just how he stayed ready or got ready now that he is fully healthy.
Jalen is an energy giver, you know. When he was injured, he gave energy to the room, motivated guys, and now that he worked his butt off with Drew and coming into on the field, he's doing a good job, basically taking a lot of football risks because he missed a lot of football, but he's doing a good job running to the ball, getting in game shape, because that's the hardest thing by sitting out that long. He's doing a good job, and he has pass rush ability as well. I'm very excited to see where Jalen George go and help us interior.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I mean, it's just the ability to check the ball down at times. You know, a lot of times we may be in the protection and end up being a check down. And sometimes younger quarterbacks are not getting to that. And I think Dylan can get to some of those check downs and get some extra yards, you know, just to, it's not there, check the ball down, and just real simple plays. I think Coach Holgerson, you know, says it all the time, like routine plays done routinely, and he allows us to do that.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. You can do some routine saving with Centris as well every time you spend with your Centris Visa debit card with their Roundup program. It sends money from your checking to your savings account every time you use it, and it rounds up to the next whole dollar. Go check it out, centrisfcu.org, to find out more. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. DB, I know we like Marcus Satterfield here. Can I ask a question? And maybe people are making me dumber, and that's fine.
You can ask whatever you want to.
It seemed I don't quite understand why people care about the pay thing.
I don't know. I'm over it.
Like
I need to probably get better at this if you want me to be more engaging on things that I think are pretty dumb.
Yeah.
If I shut it down, I've shut it down.
Yeah.
So I don't have a good answer for why people care about how much Coach Satterfield makes.
And I think so. Here's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Because it always gets brought up in, at least recently, gets brought up in connection with how much Holgerson makes.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit less, right? And so I'm sitting here and I go, okay, if I'm in that.
But we do understand why with Holgerson, right?
I don't know if people do. He's getting money from his buyout.
Correct.
So it's not like he's still per year making more.
Correct.
So like it's kind of the same thing with like we were trying to work through when Coach Rule came here and he had the buyout with Carolina and they weren't playing nice and whatever. Like there's like other factors here.
Lance said he's calling BS on the pay stance. What's BS?
The other
Jeez.
the other
This
thing
ain't good.
is
Lance, do you think I care? Is he BSing me?
Dana and Sat are cool with it, why do we care? That's what I'm trying to figure. Because, like, if you're working with somebody and you go, hey, I know they make a little bit more than me, we work in the same building, whatever, and I'm cool with it, why would anybody outside the building care? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Do you know who understands pay and cost of doing business better than anyone?
Who?
Coaches.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know why people care about that.
It keeps coming up, but I can't figure out why.
I don't know if we understand like verbiage in contracts very well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't really understand it. It's a thing that keeps coming up, and a part of it I think is if we liked Satterfield more, we wouldn't bring it up.
Which I don't get either, but
I do think that's a part of it, though.
It's amazing.
But I also think we have a hard time separating Satterfield play caller versus Satterfield tight ends coach.
Or just, can we just talk about value to the organization?
Yeah.
Because that's usually how you set salaries, right?
Yeah. How much value did it bring to the organization?
Okay.
Because, like, there's salespeople that make more than managers, right?
Yeah.
But they're lower on the totem pole.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just putting that out there,
So, but, okay, Lance. I understand what he's saying.
What did Lance say?
He said if Andrew Rodgers was making close to what you made, how would you feel? Does Micah Parsons care about pay? Now, you're too smart for that, Lance. Number one, the examples don't fit. Micah Parsons is talking about what is widely known as a pay scale
for players of his caliber.
Across
the league.
Okay.
Right.
So internally, if you have to understand, it's still value versus worth. Right. So if you use AR as an example as a first-time young guy, if he was really, really good, and I don't know what else, like maybe there was something else that was happening with the company, like
that he brought additional value to.
Yeah, there's not much I'm going to say about that.
Yeah,
and how would I know?
Yeah,
right. In the NFL, it's different because you want to be paid your worth. The reason that contracts are so important in the NFL to guys relative to who else at their position is getting it is because your worth is being challenged and established at the same time.
There's also another.
That's the part that people can't. That's the part why salary disputes happen, is because we can't agree on value versus worth.
There's also this other part of this that we don't really talk about with professional athlete salaries that we maybe should a little bit more.
What's that?
There's also pressure from the unions to get the most you can.
Yeah.
Because there's established baselines.
Good faith.
There's a lot of issues in Major League Baseball sometimes, especially without a salary cap, when players seemingly take discounts because then it diminishes the next round of contracts, right? Players unions always want the money to go up and they want everyone to maximize whatever they can. That's why, like in the NBA,
that's why deals have to get approved.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Like there's a reason A-Rod never played for the Red Sox. Right? Like that's a real thing that happened. That trade was agreed to by all parties except the union. Yeah. They said, you're diminishing your value too much. We cannot allow this.
We've seen it happen across multiple leagues. You remember when Chris Paul couldn't go to the Lakers.
Like that's a part of this with salaries of players that we don't talk about a ton. Like the union puts pressure on them and their agents, even if they wouldn't do it independently, which most of them would. But there's a handful of guys that make enough money off the field that they maybe don't care that much about what their NFL salary is. That happens more in the NBA than the NFL. But there's some of those guys, not a ton, but they are still usually pushed to get maximum value for their contracts so it doesn't diminish other players' negotiating ability. Like they have a responsibility to set the standard for whatever caliber of player they are.
We're getting a few blurred lines here. He goes, let's base it on worth. You know, what recruits does he land? I mean, really? Are we going to talk about Satterfield as a recruiter? I definitely wouldn't go there, Lance, and die on that hill. But Originally, if he was paid on his title, part of what happens in negotiations and contracts is, and I guess it will be public record, like you can ask what he's making in the calendar year. But who sets the worth is the employer.
Yes.
Like you can't really, that's, you're trying to argue, or you're trying to use something that's very arbitrary and pawn it off as like a baseline. I don't know what Coach Satterfield is worth to Nebraska, but apparently it's what they're paying him, which ultimately I think begs the question, why do we care? Right? Isn't that where
that's where my
that's the original catalyst, right?
Yeah, why do we care?
Yeah, so that's the question you have to answer.
Also,
it's not about the hypothetical business practice of how we would do business, because it's not in the same vein.
Also, I don't like. Do we think that because Amazing Danner brought this up? I think it was him.
Now you're just listen. You're just arguing to be arguing. You know how I am. Don't do it.
I think it was him. There was comments went by pretty fast, but he's like, I think he thinks part of the reason people care is because he thinks we assume there's some cap on the money that is going to be spent on assistant coaches, and we think we aren't going to be able to pay someone else, right? Well, they still got Dana Holgorsen in the door, right? They got him for whatever they needed.
Have we not looked at their staff? It's huge.
How large that staff is?
Yeah.
Like if they need money for a coach, it's there.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the other thing. I think there is this thing in our head.
So is it offset by the fact Nebraska's going to bust on the way down as a team? No, I'm dead serious, because this kind of stuff pisses me off.
I know.
Like, is it cool? Like, if they want to pay Sat 1.4, right? And you think he's $800,000 or whatever, man.
Yeah.
Is it cool that they're busting down and not flying?
Save a little money.
Save a little money. Is that good stewardship?
You want them to bus to Illinois too?
How many of those should we do?
Not this year, but how many buses?
My point is it's up to the entity to decide.
Yeah.
What the worth versus the value is.
Here's the other thing that I struggle with.
Like, what are we talking about?
Here's the other thing that I struggle with this conversation is we tend
there goes charging us $11 for a beer and reseating us so we can pay a tight ends coach. No, that's OMG. I'm telling you.
Have you been to any games or
anything? You're going to your room.
Ever?
You're going to your room.
Because the $11 for a beer is kind of the cost of doing business.
Oh, he's going to his room.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. It just is. Unless you're going to our friends over at the Storm Chasers on a Thursday, you're paying $11 for a beer. Man. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, heaven forbid what we have done with stadium renovation. No, Lance, you're not paying $1.4 million for a tight ends coach. Let's convince yourself that you're paying it so you can make an outgoing call at the stadium when they upgraded the fiber optics. Do you feel better? God, it's like you just want something to bitch about, so you make it about the coach. Like, what about the other amenities that you're getting at the stadium when they put the kibosh on the stadium renovation project? Maybe that's what some of your dollars are going to.
Here's my other question.
So you can dial out. What?
Here's
or so they can have grass. I don't know, man. Doesn't have to be the coach's salary.
It's the new grass fields. That's what the $11 beers are for.
Fudge. Like, what? See, we're just, man, I can't stand that. We just like to be miserable. We do.
Here's the other thing that I don't totally understand about this is we seem to trust Coach Rule pretty implicitly on just about everything else. I mean, for the most part, I don't really understand why this is the one thing. Like, if he finds value here.
Because it's what we do. Do you know how many people are going to bitch and moan about a podcast?
Yeah, probably a lot.
Okay. Guess what? Just do you, man. Just do you. If we worry about every little major concern of what somebody's going to say or somebody's going to think, we're going to be like the rest of the 5 preceding coaches. Do what you do. Commit the most you can to winning, and let all the other hand-wringing and consternation go. That's it. Because there's always going to be this stuff. I mean, people are going to bitch and moan, oh, we're in season and you should be focused on winning, man. How do you know when he did the podcast? What if he banked them? What if he's been done? What if he's like highlighting a player? Like, we're already up in arms over things that like
hasn't even happened yet.
And our scope is too narrow.
So here's I'm glad you brought that
the
up.
The scope, it's just too narrow.
Because
it has been doesn't mean it always will be. And we haven't won poop. So who cares?
I also think there's
I could see if he was bucking 20-year tradition of winning 10 games.
Yeah.
Like,
but the coaches that didn't do podcasts didn't win either. So
like WTH.
I actually think it's funny that you bring up the podcast. Because
I just use that as an example because it drives me up the wall.
No, I actually think there's a corollary here with the Satterfield thing because you brought it up. Our scope is too narrow, right? We think, hey, he is spending an hour a week. Let's say he is doing them live. Let's say he's doing them in real time, right?
Hey, would we be cool?
Yeah.
Would we be cool if he came out and said, hey, I'm recording these podcasts at 2 a.m. They're my own. Are we cool with that?
No, we wouldn't.
Well, why not?
Well, 2 a.m. you could be watching film. That's what people would say. But here's why I bring up the scope is too narrow thing that you brought up. Because do you think Coach Rule being a voice in college football is good for Nebraska?
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, I do.
What do you think the podcast allows him to do? Be a voice for college football.
And you know what?
Advocate for Nebraska.
Do you know what I really mean? And I know people can make you dumber. Let's just hypothetically say, I don't know Coach Rule. I don't have any personal opinions on Coach Rule. Hypothetically. Okay. A coach who's from day one. I'm only going to tell you the facts. Who from day one has said, I'm about the University of Nebraska. I love this place. Is that fact or fiction?
100% fact.
Okay. A guy that has found a way to embrace the culture, who has put what the state of Nebraska means to him and how he feels it has been slighted nationally since he's been here.
Fact.
Okay. We keep wanting to make it about, well, we don't win enough, therefore. It's like, well, because we listen to the criticisms. You don't even win. Like, how are you still a blue blood program? Or you don't even win. How are you nationally relevant? What if you had a head coach that caved and prescribed to that or subscribed to that?
Then you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Like a lot of trouble.
Like, so just think of the alternative. Like, what if he just gave in? Well, nobody else thinks we're very good, so I'm not going to do what I can while we're trying to win to make sure that we feel good, that other people know and feel the same way that I do about this place. Should he not do that?
No, he should do that.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
He should absolutely do that.
And if you think that somehow Coach Rule will be distracted from coaching
because of a podcast,
because of a promotional branding, I don't know what else to tell you. Because the other guys that weren't doing it weren't winning either. So what difference does it make if you grow the brand? And why I first said that the scope is too little, I get it. 50 media throng. Where it's Nebraska 24/7 in the state of Nebraska. So that's our prism. It's not like that in California. It's not like that in Texas. It's not like that in Florida. It's not like that in Springfield. It's not like that in Virginia Beach. So why not nationally try to reach the masses for the good of the program and branding's sake? You want him to wait until you win a certain amount of games to talk?
Not really.
Does that even make sense?
No, because then he seems like a front runner, and we don't like that either.
It's like,
right?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me, and I listen to the empty cans because they do rattle the loudest. But philosophically, it doesn't make any sense to not promote the brand. I mean, I hope, like, find a way to go on to some national, find a way every week to go on a national show and talk about Nebraska.
Advocate for the program.
Because you know what we do? This is what pisses me off. We bitch and moan. Well, why'd they let Ryan Day come? It's like a free infomercial for USC or Ohio State. Or why'd they let this coach do it? It's like a free infomercial for, oh, great, here comes the four-letter network having this SEC coach. So what's the counterpoint? The counterpoint is
we do it too.
Why can't we do it too? Why can't we do it too? And why do we have to wait to win? If he wants to promote on a national branding level the importance and the value and why he feels the way about the University of Nebraska the way that he does, why would that bother us?
I don't know. It's one of the things I like the most about him, frankly.
Because he's not waiting? Because he's actually doing what he tells recruits on the road? Hey, don't wait till you feel like we've reached a certain level of achievement before you hop on board. Hop on board now.
Yeah, he's practicing what he preaches.
Don't you want him to be like that?
Yes. He's practicing what he preaches.
I would.
How many times have we said he wants guys that believe in the program before it starts to win?
Why?
So
okay.
why would it show he doesn't believe in the program?
Woe is me, and Lucas. I'm gonna hear you out. Why is it exhausting being a fan? Okay, here we go. Why is it exhausting being a fan, especially when you have options? Misery is optional. Misery is optional. And full disclosure, who needs help doing bad? You can do bad all by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need. We don't need help. Like, why is it exhausting? I'm listening. Whenever that happens, but why can't he do that?
Here's where I think there is a corollary to the Satterfield thing in terms of the scope being too narrow, right? He's doing the podcast. We're like, oh, he hasn't won yet, whatever. He's advocating for the brand. He's not wasting time. This is a positive thing for the program.
Do you think Android does fewer commercials because of what Apple's doing?
No.
Do any brands
No.
or good companies, do they do that? I mean, should Adidas take a backseat to Nike because they had Just Do It?
Does Diet Pepsi not advertise because people like Diet Coke better?
I don't understand. I don't understand.
I think the thing that we miss with Satterfield is that it's entirely possible, and I don't know, I really don't. It's entirely possible that there is value that he brings to the organization that is not directly related to the position he coaches. Where
I agree with you, and which is why I tried to nip it in the bud early. Like, that's the whole value versus the worth thing. Like, why are we trying to guess and speculate and hypothesize on what his worth is to that organization? Don't we have enough business to mind?
Apparently we do not.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me.
But that's, I think, where you have to widen the scope a little bit, right? Is to ask yourself, if you're Coach Rule, right, and because everybody's comes back to, well, why did he hire him in the first place? Like, if you're Coach Rule and you're putting a staff together and you know the things you need to accomplish in order to turn a place around culturally, and you're going to say, hey, these are the guys that I want, and you sit there and you go, okay, am I going to sacrifice somebody who I think might be a better tactician, or am I going to take the guy that I know 100% can help me instill the culture that I need to instill here?
And you pick, and that has a certain amount of value to him, right?
What probably more value than we're giving credit for.
You know what's funny too is I think a common perception. This isn't everybody, but this is a handful of people out there that like to, kind of pass judgment and have our hands in other people's pockets. I think we know what it would take in terms of a price tag to be miserable. And I'm telling you, sure as I'm sitting here, no, you don't. Oh, I could be miserable. Oh, I could do that for X amount of money. Could you? Could you? I don't know, because I've seen a lot of guys quit that make a ton of money because they couldn't take the heat.
Or they didn't like what came with it or whatever, right?
So,
like those paychecks aren't free, right? Like they're getting paid that for a reason.
it comes with a cost, right?
And you
think those guys don't understand with that kind of earning power, you open yourself up for scrutiny? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do we think we know how much we could put up with, or assume we know how much we could put up with for a certain price tag?
Yeah. It's easy to assume when you have no idea.
Right?
Right? I mean, really. When you have really no idea what it's like when it's not just, I mean, Coach Rule talked about this with the time in Carolina, right? When you can't really go to the grocery store, where people are saying things to your wife and kids. Like, we don't know what that's like.
The examples are
endless. Right?
Whether it's your personal life too. You know, nobody has a buddy that's like, man, I don't make enough to put up with this. Like, how do you know? You're just so miserable.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're making.
Yeah, you could put almost any number on it, right? I had a buddy ask me, probably about a year ago. He goes, "Hey, how much would you need to be paid?" He's a very successful guy. "How much would you need to be paid to deal with X, Y, and Z?" And he kind of laid out a job situation for me. "Hey, I'm on call all the time. I'm doing this, whatever. These are my hours. I can kind of make my own schedule, but I'm never really off because I have to be available."
I might need to leave Lucas alone. He works out 4 or 5 days. Lucas, listen, I'm not trying to make you mad. If you're one of these big yoke swole dudes that can like box and wrestle,
I'm cool.
I'm cool. Nah.
But
yeah, I'm cool because Lucas is probably younger than me.
So he lays out this. I
don't want no young lions.
This whole thing for me.
I need the old beat up dudes.
And he gives me this example. He goes, "How much would you need to be paid to deal with that?" And I gave him my number, and he goes, "Oh, okay." And I know for a fact it was a lot less than he makes, and I think it was a very stark.
A better way to ask the question is, what's a peace of mind worth?
Sure.
Do you know why most of us can't answer that question?
Because we don't know.
Because we seldom have had peace of mind.
Yeah.
That it's just the other way. Look at AJ. I get paid adequately to listen to Ravi and DB every day. Listen, you know what? I know one thing. I don't make enough money to support some of your cut-ups and clips that you put out on social media. I didn't make enough for that. AJ, how about that? Don't get me started. I may still need a ride too, so I better be nice. I don't want his fiance.
You want to get the Lance on the phone?
Me in the back seat. Is this Michigan Lance?
No.
Bulk Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, let it rip.
Lance, what's going on, bud?
Lance, good morning.
What's up, guys? How are you?
I'm good, man. It depends. I liked you 10 minutes ago. We're wavering right now.
I know. We're teetering, my guy. We're teetering. These last 30 years mean nothing. So.
Good point. Good point. You get some grace. What's up, man? Now, why'd you have to put it like that, man? Now I got all soft again. Damn it.
I know. Hey, you know what, though? You know what I think it is that I've been in some contract work before. Anytime you have published salaries, or you have someone negotiating on someone's behalf, whether you're an MC that has an agent in your guys' business, or you're Micah Parsons, you want to be paid with the same level that you're with. And so we can talk about enterprise value and how, what is the Big Ten standard for an offensive coordinator? And that's what you're going to get. That's not what we have anymore. And when I think about, like, you specifically, Damon, you always talk about how if I can lose with you, what does that mean? So, this.
Oh, when I say, well, I haven't won with you.
Yep, yeah. I haven't won with you. So I look at who's making 1.4 as a position coach, and we got guys like Larry Johnson, and I think when Elijah Robinson was at A&M, he was getting a bag. And so when I see that salary on a position coach, and I see, I have friends that have been season ticket holders for, multiple generations that are like, hey, I'm going to give it my seats when Dannon receipts us. I think about hey, what are we doing to make sure we're being, judicious with how we're spending our money? And I think of everything that Rule's done, this is the one thing where I can look and see, we've had coaches push coaches out before. I think you and I both know that. And so under the table, push guys out, say, hey, man, we need you to go find a job. Mm-hmm. And so it's just weird to me that at Larry Johnson money, we had a tight ends coach, and, we had people that are like, hey, I'm going to give up seats that my family has had for 80 years or whatever it is.
Do you think that's
I
to pay
don't
coaches? Do you think that's to pay coaches' salaries, or how do you discern? How do you discern
right now,
what the money is actually, or you don't want to get into like the semantics of it? What if it's for grass?
It's a pot of money, right?
Sure.
Whether it's for grass, for coaches, for students, I think people would be more on board with saying like, hey, let's give $700,000 to the student athletes, then let's pay the tight ends coach who is currently our coach $1.4 million. So, or let's go pay for a guy that has the connections that Elijah Robinson has.
So let me ask you this. LB. So hypothetically, and he wouldn't do this, but like if Dannon called Neil Hawks, right, and he's like, hey, Neil, man, you just killed your 7th buffalo. I know you're out here living off the land. Love what you do. Can you scratch us off a check for $600K to compensate Coach Satterfield? This is a total hypothetical, but let's not act like you don't know what I'm getting at. And he cut the check, right? He cut the check. Would you need to know what was in your quote unquote pot of money? Like, would you be cool with that?
Well,
yes or no?
Okay, if I was Neil, it would really.
What if you were Pete? What if you were Pete?
If it's a pot of money, then yes. Then it would obviously be a yes if it's a tax deduction, right? Like,
yeah, because you admitted that it was a pot of money, right?
But I also know people. Yeah, I also know people though that don't agree with like hey, if we ask Neil Hawks, would you cover $700,000 so everyone doesn't have to pay a donation? He'd probably say no, right? It's probably not a tax deduction. I don't know. But what I'm getting at here is that, when you look at things like that, you have to then start wondering: are we overpaying for stuff? Like,
you're pretty good. You're pretty good with ledger. I mean, business, like, right? I'm not trying to tell all your business, but have you ever come into a large lump of sum of money?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you know how that works, right?
But people that got money,
my man said,
don't keep money by giving it away. You know what I mean? Like the people that that have it, they don't keep it by just giving an extra check. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
Lance, can I ask you a question real quick?
I do want you to understand ledgers, though.
Buddy.
True or false? Satterfield was getting 1.4 from Nebraska this year, whether he coached tight ends or not.
Does he have a?
It's true. I'll give you the. It's true.
No. If he coaches somewhere else, is some of that recouped? Because then it wouldn't be 1.4; it would be like 7.
I don't know, but Nebraska still could be on the hook for it, though.
Yeah,
we don't know. You know what I mean?
We don't know for sure, but like he was getting 1.4 one way or the other.
But can't you just see how in this last 6 minutes, though, you have better ways to exert your energy,
and then you still probably have to hire a tight ends coach, right?
True. Is it true that his family moved away from Nebraska, though? Do we know that for it to be fact?
Yeah, his
that's just all I want to know.
No, yeah, like they're. I don't think I'm telling him his business, but yeah, like his wife and daughter went back to school, right? He wanted her to graduate. Like that's hard. I don't know, man.
He's on the Riley plan, man. He's on that Riley plan.
And I love his daughter. Like she's a genius. I just don't want to get into people's pocketbooks like that. You know what I mean? And I just think we overdo it.
I agree.
We overdo it with Sat. He's a good dude and he's really good at what he does. He's really good at what he does.
The salary's published. It's really hard to say, let's not pocket watch. I'm just saying.
All right. You're going to work for an entity.
Right,
hey, listen, you're going to work for an entity. I want you to keep that same energy because it's going to piss you off.
I know.
All right,
buddy.
All right, buddy. Love you too. That's my dude.
Again, that's the guy that's way different on the phone than he is on the internet.
I'm telling you, the dude is cooler than a fan.
That's fine. Be cool on the internet then too. That's all I'm saying. I just want you to be the same both places. That's all. Keep the same energy. I like talking to him on the phone.
You can tell he's smart.
I know he's very smart, and he's much more thoughtful when we're talking to him in person. Maybe it's just hard.
You just have to ask the right questions.
Fair.
You just got to ask him the right questions.
It's hard to do on the internet.
That's all.
That's all right. Let's take a quick break here. In about 10 minutes, we're going to get to our guy, Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider from Major Wager. We have at least one actual game to talk about this week with our guy, Brian Edwards.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. We're going to talk to Michael Bruntz at 9 from Husker247. Then we're going to preview Iowa at 9:45 with the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin. That's what's coming up on the show today. Only took us an hour and 35 minutes to set the lineup.
Progress.
Hey, but we did it before our second break, so that's good.
This is only our second break.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
That's TV. I'm Ravi, Lulla. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Obviously, the single-digit thing here is a tremendous honor for everybody, 0 through 9, because, like, we have coaches have nothing to do with it. It's 100% based on the opinion and the respect that your fellow players have for you, which ultimately in football, we're trying to get these guys to play as hard as they can, as physical as they can, and execute at a high level, and do it for each other. That ultimately is the kind of the bonding formula. The fact that you're doing it for your teammates, you're not out there playing for yourself. So if you then get voted as one of the 10 players to wear a single digit, I think that's just a testament of what the players think of them. And with Vincent, obviously, he went from 1 to 9, which meant he was revoted into that capacity as opposed to just keeping his number 1. So I really believe that any of those players that have been voted into that position that then accepted that number, they should feel great about how their teammates think of them, and then it is a tremendous responsibility to then uphold that.
I mean, it's part of the phase, right, in today's world. I mean, everybody's dropping. You got nose guards dropping, D-tackles dropping, you got linebackers blitzing, you got corners blitzing. So it's really hard to dictate that element of the game, right? It's football. Everybody's doing a little bit of something. So the good thing is we have the skill set back there to be able to do things that when it's called upon.
Have you seen Deshaun kind of adjust in a way that's obviously he had kind of played off the ball and he's good at it. He was good at it, but he also wants to be down near the ball. How have you seen that kind of overall global adjustment over the last in spring and now in training camp?
Well, right now, I mean, he's made a great amount of progress. You know, he's working at it every day, and I tell Deshaun, I tell everybody else in that room again, you're here to be a complete football player. We don't come into Nebraska to be a pass rusher. So you come here to play football learn to stop the run and everything else that comes with it. Pass rushing is just part of the game, no different than special teams, offense, and defense. It all correlates together. So he's doing a good job at just identifying everything else and just kind of just overall develop his game.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think all three, like Caden Ectornock, Danny King, and Eric Ingerson, are all three, right there fighting, for that fourth spot. They're all coming in, working hard. That's a really good room, a really tight room. They get along with each other. They work well with each other. So those three guys are, going to have a chance to play at some point this year. They're just going to keep competing and battling it out.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, if you're on the road this morning, make sure you got that seatbelt fastened and make it click. It prevents injuries and saves lives, but only if worn properly. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
How about my man Joseph?
What's Joseph got today?
I don't know. He's all over the place, but I like this. It helps developing players have some continuity in your staff. Also, T-Mac brings a fantastic point up, and I can't stress this enough. And this is what I said to LBZ. I was like, listen, I don't love the Larry Johnson comp, but I get it on the surface, right? Hey, you're paying LJ,
Position
senior.
coach. Yeah.
This is dumb to be talking about other people's money, but for the sake of the discussion, you're paying LJ senior 1.4. And that's the same as you're paying Marcus. Here's the beauty of you saying that, Lance. You're actually making the argument that I think Ravi's talking about, where you get to see the hard value of what it means to be a recruiter. But you're kidding yourself if you think it's $1.4 million to just coach D-line. Because there's better D-line coaches.
Absolutely.
Don't know if there's better recruiters and D-line coaches than Larry Johnson Sr. in its totality. But because we value recruiting, you've justified the $1.4 million being worth the price tag. Conversely, if it's an abstract thing or something we don't value as much,
I'll say it's not tangible.
right? Like, let's say Coach Rule said, hey, I culture building and loyalty and work ethic and guys sticking through things is worth X amount to me. Worth X amount.
Like if you just came out and told us that.
Yep. I want to pay this.
For that skill set.
Right. If we don't value it.
I was like, oh, he's overpaying.
We think it's overpaid.
But if we do, we're like, oh, that makes sense.
But if we do value it, then the price tag is worth it. That's the difference between value and worth in its most simplistic, archaic, linear point. And to T-Mac's point, if he's doing a good job, why does it matter? This is a Texas guy. But I told you T-Mac has some sense. Why does it matter? When your head coach is preaching resiliency and sticking with it, what better example than what Sat's done? Ego aside, head down, went back to work in a new role. Again,
mid-season, by the way.
The assumption would be, well, he's getting $1.4 million. I'd do it too. No, you wouldn't.
Especially,
no, you wouldn't. Not if you've made similar dollars.
Yes.
And your daughter's going back to school. Your wife's amazing. I told you I love his family. His little daughter's a genius, right? 30-some odd on the SAT, wanted to be challenged in school, was more comfortable back home. Do you know how hard? Like, what's a price tag for you to not take the money and go back home with your family?
Or to take the free money for a year.
And she was a junior in high school. What are we talking about here? Is that enough money to stay? No, but because we don't value because we don't value being with our families over money, some of us, it's not worth the fact that he stayed because of the hardline number that he was making. So we justified it in our head. He could have taken the money and run. He didn't. How much would I have to pay you to not be around? Some of you shouldn't answer this. To not be around people you care about.
Yeah, Headley says he could have made 1.4 this year hanging out with his family.
And to not read his name in the all the time in terms surrounded by negativity.
Yeah.
Like at some point it just ain't worth it.
He could have had a much easier year making $1.4 million.
I'm always gonna rock with that dude.
Like
I just am because he's tough-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in, and his room gets better. Like that and he's for young people, man.
What are we gonna say if Luke Lindemeyer is as good as we think?
I can't even believe we just overlooked that. Man, dude's gonna be playing on Sundays. It's not nary a one of you that when he was recruited was like, we're still bitching about he was in the game against Illinois. I don't know why you had him in the game on that. Because he was open. That's why. It's like I'm so sick of wanting the cake and eating it too, man. It's incredible.
He was a walk-on, correct?
I'm not even getting into it. Like, the dude's going to get paid to play on Sundays. And we act like this dude can't coach.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
And we like Heinrich, right?
I don't know. Do we?
It seems like people do.
I don't know. The closer we get, I keep hearing. I don't know. Maybe we like him. I like him.
I mean, if Heinrich's good, this guy was a quarterback his whole life until, 8 months ago.
What do I?
Does that mean he's a good coach or not? I'm just putting it out there. What's up, Shane?
I got a guy that gets paid on Sundays.
He gets paid because of Sundays.
Yeah.
Let's get to our guy, Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider from Major Wager. What's up, B?
What's happening, fellas?
How we doing?
Good.
I love it. Brian DJ Lagway Edwards. That is a heck of a hyphenated last name you've got.
I wanted to say congratulations. He finally took some reps this week.
I know. I've been saying it. He's fine. He's gonna be fine.
Don't let him needle you, B. He does it to me every day.
Just like he's been for all the other times he's been playing in Florida, right? He hasn't missed any time for anything, right?
This dude's gonna win the Heisman, and I'm be miserable.
I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm just saying he's not there a lot.
I don't know why this can't. Has any Nebraska guys ever won the Heisman? Mike Rozier.
Eric Crouch, Mike Rozier,
Eric Crouch. Okay,
yeah.
We got Johnny Rogers, 78. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, we got 3.
Got 3 of them.
Oh, why did I think 78? My fault. Is that the punt return against Oklahoma?
No, you're trying to needle me, and you want to talk about the Missouri loss. That's why you brought up 78, because you're a Nebraska historian, and of course you're passive-aggressively attacking. Oh, wait, that's not true. I just took it personal, maybe.
Actually, I didn't know anything about that, but y'all were given a win over Missouri in the 5th down game, correct? I do remember that.
Oh, my goodness. You're letting Ravi's
do I have the right
of DJ Lagway? You're taking it out on your boy, B.
Dude, I can't take anything out on Nebraska. Tommy Frazier's still running, and we haven't had a rematch yet. So I can't do anything to Nebraska. I've been wanting that rematch for 30 years.
Brian, I got a question for you. We don't have to stay on this. I do have a question for you though. How many tackles can one man break?
Wow.
He's still running.
You don't
From
have
Bradenton Manatee High School.
You don't have to put up with that. You just don't. Sometimes you just got to walk that dude off.
Where is Tommy Frazier these days?
He's about
he's right here.
Roughly about 3.2 miles from me right now currently, B.
I was about to say he probably doesn't have to buy a meal in Nebraska. Why leave?
No, he's got a great piece coming out that ESPN's going to do. Hopefully they'll release it before December, but it's going to be pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many? I'm trying not to be mean. The Florida has 3 as well, right?
Spurrier, Tebow, and Werfel. Yep, okay. Exactly. We're tied.
Hey, do you know? I saw a couple of clips of a guy that I think the world of, and I think we've talked about him before. But you're all in on Fred Taylor, right?
Oh yeah, for the NFL Hall of Fame or just in general?
Just in like
Easily one of my top 5 Gators ever. I call him 4-touchdown Fred because he had 4 touchdowns his last game at the Swamp, 32-29 over the unbeaten Seminoles, title denier in '97. And I wasn't even thinking about Ravi until just at the very end, just now. That came naturally. I only thought about the Ravi Knoll factor at the very end.
I knew absolute adult man crush on Fred Taylor. He was such a gifted runner. And he's got a cool story too. As I admire him, I admire what he's become as well. He totally keeps it a buck, man. I'm a huge Fred Taylor guy.
Me too. And I'm still mad that D-bag McElwain got in his son's face.
Was that pre or post shark photo? No, let me stop. We're all over the place, man. Let me stop.
We're big Jim McElwain guy.
Nope.
All right, 11 a.m. Saturday. Well, 12 for you.
No. I'm central. Everything west.
Oh, that's right. You're north. Yeah, I keep forgetting, man.
Northwest.
It's Destin, right? You might as well be in.
And Louisiana and Alabama. Yeah.
Be in the bayou.
Yeah.
11 o'clock. I know where you're going to be, right? Will you make yourself breakfast, or are you going to your local establishment?
Well, my buddy was talking about cooking food. Now, I don't know if he'll have it ready by kickoff. So if he's not going to have the food ready till halftime, I may watch the first half here.
Hey, hate to eat and run. What if food?
No, I'll go watch the rest of the game at his house.
All right. Well, you and I watch fights live, and you didn't even want to eat. Are you not an eat while you're working guy?
No, I think I had already eaten. I think I wanted to get a big meal in me before UFC 300, and so yeah.
All right, I got you. By the way, before we get into this game, did you see Cormier the other day that he was asked his Mount Rushmore of UFC fighters? And this ding dong said, Demetrius Johnson, Khabib,
GSP.
Yep, St. Pierre, and he's like, there's so many guys. Liddell, put the UFC on his back. Coach here, 2-time champ. I don't know. I'd probably go with one of those. Really, DC? Really? Just can't say John Jones, huh?
Mm-mm.
Man, yeah, I just don't know if he knows that. Anything after that, it's hard to take you seriously if you can't put John Jones on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess was he saying steroids or
no? He didn't say. He didn't even acknowledge him.
Okay, I got you.
I was like, if you're gonna be about the
skipped. He said Couture before Silva. I was like, all right, let's say you're being petty.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to miss John Jones. Silva doesn't belong in that discussion.
Yeah, where's the spider?
I don't know. Along came. He should be somewhere. All right, buddy. Let's go to Ireland and see what's happening with this pivotal Big 12 matchup. Where are we at? I know you like Iowa State. You're getting a full 3 now. That has to be good.
Well, I mean, I got it 4 a while back. I mean, I bought it a half point from 3.5.
Okay.
Now it was available at Circa for a week at 4, but I still like it at 3. I think they're going to win outright. I've got Iowa State 27th in my power rankings. I've got K-State 29th, so a slight edge Iowa State on a neutral. So I'll take the 3. I added a prop. Now this is for less amount-wise, obviously, but I saw at FanDuel and Chase Sowell, wide receiver, transfer from East Carolina. Their 4-star transfer. His over-under on receiving yards is 57.5. And in 6 of the last 7 games at East Carolina last year, he had at least 67 receiving yards. So his last 7 games, he had 75, 50. That was the outlier, the only under. 117, 138, 82, 67, and 72. I think he's going to be Rocco Beck's favorite target because he lost Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, both nearly 1,200 receiving yards last year, and they both got drafted day 2 by the Texans. Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. I don't know if I said that correctly, but anyhow, so Yeah, Iowa State +3 for like, I don't know, 1.5 units, and then like a half unit on Chase Sowell over 57.5 receiving yards.
Let me ask you about a couple of games early in the week, on the same day, just because I think they could be one of the worst Power 4 teams in the country. At least they're in the same time zone. But Stanford opened as a fave. They are now a 2.5-point dog. They probably should have opened as a dog. How are you capping Stanford in Hawaii?
I'm not.
Okay, because the line. I mean, we're talking about a full 5 point.
Right. But I just don't consider it
That's
that
a
big
lot.
a move.
Why?
Well,
Yeah.
but when it's like going from -2 to +2, it only impacts if one team wins by 1. Now, I mean, if they do, it's a lot. But I don't think of it as like a 4-point move going from like 4 to 8. It's going from -2 to +2. Now, if it hits on 1 or 2, it is a big deal, obviously, and I'll look stupid saying I just don't think of it as a 4-point move. Like if it was outside of 3, it wasn't inside of 3 either way.
The other game that I'm looking at here is Fresno State, Kansas.
I know it, right?
Kansas almost a full 2-touchdown favorite, -13. Do you have anything here?
Fresno State staff is pretty good, B.
Yeah, and I wrote a preview on the game. A couple of national titles, FCS.
Really high.
He can coach.
And he was Kleiman's DC before Kleiman left that FCS to go to K-State. So he's a Kleiman guy. And I wrote the preview, and at that time the line was 13, and I was wishing it was 13.5 because I leaned Fresno. I wanted to buy the half point to 14. So I'm just gonna. That's the only other game I'm looking. Well, I take that back. I'll talk about UNLV in a second. But it's 13 now. I'm just hoping to 13.5 will pop. I'll buy the half point to 14, or I'll wait and maybe Kansas takes an early lead and I can live bet it, maybe even at better than 14. I will point out 2 key players for Kansas. 2 of their better transfers they got out of the portal were very questionable as of Tuesday, and I haven't heard more. So Iowa State, K-State listed a availability or an injury report, but I don't think Kansas has to do it because it's a non-conference game. But Bryson Canny, who's going to start for them at receiver, and DJ Graham, who's going to start for them at corner, those guys have missed most of training camp injured, but they Leipold said they had just started practicing like late last week, but he thinks they may dress, but I need to get an update on that. But anyway, I lean Fresno State anyway, but I want to get 14. I don't know how are we on time?
You're good.
Oh, all right.
We're good.
So I saw UNLV. It initially they're at home to Idaho State. The FBS.
That's former 4- and 5-star U to you, Brian.
Yes.
That's UNLV.
And former Florida Gator coach Dan Mullen.
My dude is taking all former Reformation projects of being highly recruited out of high school.
I think he's trying to get a Netflix special as the new Last Chance U.
Yeah, in fact, so Mullen got 42 transfers. 16 of them were 4 stars out of high school.
Yep.
And 2 of them were 5 stars out of high school. So yeah, Reclamation Project U, as Damon just pointed out. So he's going to want to make a splash here. So when I saw it 26.5, now it's up to 27.5 at one book. 26.5, 27 the others. I was like, please give me -14 first half or -7 first quarter. It's 7.5 and 14.5 on those. So, but I'm not against betting UNLV anything, whether it's the whole game, maybe I don't know about first quarter, but first half -14.5 or UNLV 26.5, 27. I think Mullen's going to look to, fireworks.
It's absolutely incredible, but I get him kind of rolling with the times. But that roster, the way he put it together, I mean, that's incredible.
I mean, he's gambling. It's Vegas. He's gambling.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of guys that play in the SEC.
What do you think that locker room is like?
That's what I don't know.
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's really, really good. I'm just like, That's a lot of meeting of the minds of guys that have thought pretty highly of themselves that are on. Some are like on part 4s.
Yeah, 3 or 4 of their journey.
Yeah, and
maybe
so
that's what it is. Maybe you just have to sit them down and like before, as you're recruiting, you're like, hey, this is probably your last go, so like your head needs to be right.
Yeah, my buddy Steve Cofield, who I've done radio off and on with for decades, I was on his show 3 Wednesdays in a row, and he covers them on a day-to-day basis. So I'm going to be pretty plugged in on them this year, talking to him, and so I'll have more info as the season progresses.
All right, we'll keep tuned in because I am kind of fascinated by UNLV this year. That is our guy Brian Edwards, Major Wager, our Vegas insider. Enjoy some real football this weekend. We made it.
I like it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, B.
That's our guy, Brian Edwards. We'll be back in just a minute with Michael Bruntz from Husker247 here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
For your family, this place means a lot to you. Your dad's name's on the stadium. You grew up, your childhood was going to his NFL games. So when you think back to your childhood and those experiences, how much did that shape who you are today?
I think a lot of it helped, where I'm at right now. To be around that kind of atmosphere and that level of football play. I didn't understand it back then, but now to look back, it's like I'm very grateful I had that experience. To be around great football players like Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson and a bunch more. It was just a cool lifestyle to grow up in, of going to games on Sunday and then kind of just celebrating. We didn't know what we were celebrating, if they won or lost, but we're just like, Dad played again and let's go home and celebrate because he's been working all week and it's kind of our time to see him before we go to school. So it was a cool lifestyle. It was fun. And, I'm very grateful for those experiences.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
100%. That's the biggest. This first off, the cycle of the snap is different from a receiver standpoint, from running back standpoint. where do your eyes go pre-snap, where they go post-snap? That takes time in itself. So just learning the difference of the position, then all of a sudden the physicality part has to come in. Like, it's one thing to understand protection, then it's another thing to deal with the contact and then utilize the technique while engaging with contact. So again, it's not going to happen like that. But from what we've seen since we started messing around with in the summer, he's making leaps every single practice. He's getting better and better. The best thing about the kid is he's a coach's kid, and so he takes the coaching points very seriously. A couple of times I've seen him in the back just doing movements by himself. I'm like, okay, so he's doing a great job.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla. We are joined now by the one, the only Michael Bruntz, Husker247. What's up, Bruntz?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good. I feel a little relieved. I can't actually see the snark this week. I can only hear it.
I got to dial it up to 11 then to make sure it gets to the phone. I guess. Right?
Oh, jeez.
I think that's important, Bruntz. Yeah.
No, do you?
Sure.
Is that right?
Make sure it translates just on voice only. I think that's important.
Yes.
Of the tidbits, I want you to listen to this one. Shane, find the Quentin Ives clip, and then we'll get to Mekhi Nelson. I'll get to Mekhi last, Bruntz, because I think that's the one that people may be the most can put the words to actually what they've seen. But listen to this clip, Bruntz, and then I'm gonna ask you a quick question.
Yeah, he was crushed when he hurt his hamstring, because I know this was a big year for him. The year before that, we brought another back in last year and kind of jumped over ahead of him just from a physical development. He just was a little bigger, stronger, and so this is really his year. He was really excited about camp, and then to have the hamstring was tough for him, mentally. But the one thing he did, he kept it. He's very mature about the injury. So in meetings, he's been sharp. He's been sharp the whole time. That's the biggest thing. Like, when you're not taking reps, it's easy to get your mind off of where it needs to be as far as the process, going back to the cycle of the snap. And he's been pretty locked in, and so like he's back now in practice. He had his best day since he's been back yesterday. So he looks sharp. I'm really proud of how mature he's handled this injury, because we're expecting him at some point to have a big year for us.
When you have to put words to personality and Coach Barthel and kind of what he says, does it help in your believability factor when he states it how he states it about kind of Ives' development and where he is, Brunsey?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good to hear that. I think with Ives specifically, though, I mean, I don't know if there's more of a show me player on the roster right now for Nebraska. And, I think, kind of given that he was going to be a guy that was going to need a couple of years to develop, most likely to get in the mix. I kind of want to see that. And I mean, it's great that he's locked in. I mean, I think it would be tough, as a player when you finally get the depth chart kind of clearing in front of you a little bit, like a big hole to run through. And then you have the hamstring injury that quick. Mm-hmm. You got to have some maturity, I think, to hang in there and not mope and be engaged. And I mean, even the last open practice availability that we got, I mean, he was in a yellow jersey trying to get into drills that he wasn't supposed to be in because he wasn't cleared yet. So I think that at least shows me that this guy's chomping at the bit to get in there. So we'll see. I mean, he's a few weeks behind. I mean, maybe that helps him to kind of be ready to go as you get a little bit more closer to conference play, or at least further into the non-con. So I don't know. I mean, I think with him, I kind of want to see it because we've heard about it. But he's only got a few career carries, a few offensive plays that he's played in. So, we'll see if he can keep coming along. But I mean, I think at least acknowledging the reality of the situation and also saying he's continued to be dialed in, I think that's probably a good sign, right?
All right, here's another one, Shane. Clip 7, I think, if you will.
Since Mekhi's gotten here, everybody's noticed and everyone knows about his explosiveness and his ability to to find the end zone. I mean, that's pretty evident. So the biggest strides he has made has been off the field. He's really grown up as far as a note taker, as far as his attentiveness in the classroom. He's really understanding the seriousness of a mistake. If that makes sense. So like a young player may make a mistake and naturally just brush it off, but at this level, you only get 3 or 4 reps at a team practice, right? So we can't afford that. So him focusing on the things he needs to correct and then applying in the next practice is the biggest jump that he's made off the field. Like Mose, he's going to take some. He's a young guy, but I think we're all pleased with what he's done this camp. He's really done a great job all around, and he's been pretty impressive. Now he's just got to do it on the game. That's the reality. He's got to do it in the game.
How did that land with you, based on what you've already seen from Mekhi Nelson, Bruntz?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen from him, and it's been a couple open practices for the media. It's been, some one-on-one stuff. He's really explosive. Like I would say he doesn't trail Emmett Johnson much in that category in terms of what he's able to do. There's probably that clip you just played, along with what Dana said earlier this fall about not about kicking his ass, but the stuff about him getting basically showing more maturity, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they've been too bashful about where he needed to improve and where he needed to grow. So yeah, I mean, you also kind of wonder, I think, sometimes too, with a younger guy, when you know that you're going to be counted on and you're going to have your opportunity. I mean, I think it kind of dials you in a little bit more too than maybe what he was last year, when you're further down the depth chart, you're fast track for a redshirt year, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, he's going to have to be ready to go. I mean, I've spent a lot of time talking about the backup running backs, but I mean, we're a week out now, and it's got to be, Mekhi Nelson has to be ready to go. Like, I think that's kind of what they've been preparing him for. And certainly I think with Ives' injury, that's been highlighted even more.
Bruntz, you said something there with Ives that it got my ears perked up a little bit here, in terms of he might be the biggest show me player on the roster. I'm not sure he would have made my list. Like, that's not how I was thinking about him. But I am curious, who else is kind of on that list for you?
Elijah Judy's on there, I think.
I got one I want to ask you about, but keep going.
Okay. I think Judy would be on there. You think? And when I say show me player, I mean, like, we've it's one thing, I think, for the coaches to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to see. I need to see it with my own eyes. So I think Judy's on there. I think I would also put. I would actually put Heinrich Harburg at tight end on.
That's what I was going to ask. That's what I was going to ask you. God is my witness.
I've got one that I like a lot too. Of a guy I like a lot, but go ahead.
We've seen Harburg a little bit at that spot, more so than Ives at his spot.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of need to see it in the game. You need to see how that looks, when the lights are on. So I think those are 3 that kind of immediately come to mind for me. There's probably a wide receiver that I'm missing that falls in that category.
I think through no fault of his own, Bruntsy, is the Harburg thing. Because this is what I think this is kind of how I envision this. I know you'll tell me where I'm full of it. So it's like, okay, here's this converted quarterback. He moves the tight end, and immediately, for whatever the reason, I think we thought gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, oh, it allows you to do this or do that. We hadn't really settled in on a natural tight end. Then you hear kind of the buzz in the offseason, and then it's like, okay, I mean, this guy was just a quarterback. Like, what are we talking about? And then Carter Nelson moves over, and it's like, I think our attention shifted a little bit, and it's like, ooh, can we get this guy to be an inline tight end, and how does it fit in addition to, not is Harburg going to be ready? So I don't think the show me is Harburg's fault in terms of what he has or hasn't done. I think it's more we either don't want to hear about it until we see it, or we don't believe it because of what we've already seen, right? It seems like he's in a catch-22 until he actually gets out there, which is why I was going to ask you about him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, you make sense. You're not full of it that much.
Not about this.
Yeah. you got this. You got this topic dialed in. No, I think part of it is too is like what we've seen from him. Like even calling him, I don't even know that calling him a gimmick is what I would say. Like
I'm telling you what I think people thought. Oh, how many tight end passes will we see this year? Or you could put him here. Like we just don't think whatever we think a tight end is. It's different than that.
Yeah, it's like how does he go from having a very small, a couple pages of plays or situations that he's in there for to, okay, he's in there for 40 plays a game. Like that's I think the kind of transition you're asking. And I don't know, like I place some value in what a guy like Luke Lindenmeyer says about that transition. And like, when Luke Lindenmeyer in the spring tells me, we had to teach Heinrich how to run as a tight end and how to run to set up routes and to create separation. And I mean, I was never a college tight end, newsflash there, but it feels like going from playing quarterback to having to, go in there and try to block Riley Van Poppel on the edge. Like that feels like there's probably some progress that needs to be made to be able to do that. So I think that's kind of why I want to see it. I mean, it's not anything, me doubting Heinrich Harburg or that he's going to be successful or anything like that. It's just like it's not an easy transition to make, I think is what I'm trying to get at here, especially if, you want him to be a 3-down tight end. And I think that's the idea and not just be a gimmicky Swiss Army knife guy in there, like you were kind of saying.
So, Bruntz, there was two guys that I was thinking of. You mentioned a guy in the wide receiver room. For me, it's Bonner. We've heard a lot of different times kind of about what they think Bonner can do, and he's versatile and does all these things. For all that, we haven't seen that much of him, and that's a guy I like a lot. And then the another guy I like a lot is I do think it's kind of a show-me year for Keona Davis as well.
Oh, awful early. He's a pup.
Yeah. It feels a little early.
I mean, we've heard a lot about Keona.
You're his biggest fan.
I am, but I'm ready to see it. Would Cam Lenhart be a better one?
That's a good one. That's insignificantly better. Okay. Significantly better example.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
So Cam Lenhart and Janarin Bonner. Those are my submissions to your show me list.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I was just kind of thinking like, okay, we hear a lot. I mean, we get eight months of talking season, a lot of talking. And then, who on that list? I'm thinking in my head of like, okay, we need to actually see it. Like I'm skeptical about the talking. So I think that's fair. I think I like Lenhart better than Davis on that list a little bit.
I think part of the cool thing, I call it cool just because as a coach, I like to see progress over time. I'll be curious to see how this defense evolves over the first handful of weeks based on the inexperience that they have. Like, they strike me as the type of unit where you could see market change rapidly just with snaps alone. You know what I mean?
Just the front, though? Or where are you thinking specifically?
I think everybody. I mean, law firm is coming from a different conference. Javen Wright, for all his experience, still doesn't have a ton of snaps. Bauer, former walk-on. It's going to be interesting. McCullough's in a new conference. playing a different kind of style. Ochoa's young. Keona Davis is inexperienced. Like, there's a lot in the front seven.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm probably willing to give Watson Trent and Wright a little bit more credit for their 13 years of combined college football experience, but they're at 13, right? Or 12?
I know.
12. I think it's 12.
Okay, 12.
When you
Which is
said it,
wild
I
to
thought
say.
you were just picking like a wild
No.
number, and then I was like, "Oh crap! I think
No,
that's the real number."
That's about right.
That's literally the math.
But just in this system alone, like snaps could drastically change the way they look in just mere weeks.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. And I think that's why you have to at least keep open the possibility that I feel like we talk about this every week, but that the cast of characters in week 5 could be very different from the cast of characters that we see in Kansas City. Like, is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
especially
that's right.
with the numbers of snaps those guys probably see.
Yeah, I can't wait to tally combined snaps at certain positions when they release that magical depth chart. I assume Monday, or when does that come out, Bruntz? Monday?
Do we get it tomorrow? Because Rule's talking tomorrow.
Oh, good. Wow,
Maybe.
would we?
But-
Yeah, it would be a week. Yeah, that I could
accelerated week.
I could see that, Brunsey. I could see that.
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because you'll see they get an experience for all the, and apparently you're back to life again on the running back room. You're kind of Denny Downer going through them all, but you'll see. You'll see how inexperienced they get in a hurry. They get inexperienced in a hurry after EJ.
They do. Well, I mean, Mackay carried one time for 2 yards last year. Mosey hasn't played in a game. I mean, Quentin Ives even fewer than 10 carries. So, yeah, I mean that's not much experience there at all. I think I'm Stuart skeptical. That's what I am right now. Stuart skeptical.
That's better than Debbie Downer.
I'm excited though. I think defensively it's because of where I spend the bulk of my time. I just know how much can change with just with just live reps, right? Van Poppel's got to be rusty, right? So, I mean, he could change within the half. I mean, just imagine Ty Robinson, Oklahoma in Norman versus Ty Robinson last year.
Well, I mean, even go back to
or Ty Robinson versus Colorado 2 years ago. I mean, he was still getting trapped.
Be a confidence thing, right?
Yeah,
it's a confidence thing too. Like, I mean, think Cam Winhart, the way he kind of took off gangbusters his freshman year. I mean, I think there's definitely the potential for that. If Keona Davis starts fast, like I wouldn't put him past him to.
I mean, this is a group where literally the third series could be significantly better than the first.
Yeah, you would hope so. Yeah.
Does it happen that fast?
Yes, 100%.
Depending on where you're starting at.
Yeah, you've seen Penn pull in practice 100 times, and they'll tell you to squeeze, get down, get flat, and then somebody actually does it, and it's live, and it's opponent, and then the kick out is on you. Yeah, it can happen from snap to snap. Sometimes you just have to you have to gauge it.
I don't think we typically think of like improvement within the season and like in that minute of reps. You know what I mean?
That's the nerd coach in me, but that's how it has to. How it has to happen.
Well, for a lot of those, I mean, for some of those guys, like 3 series, I mean, that's getting to like half of what their all-time.
Oh, so that's like their entire career doubling, right?
Yeah, I mean, even like just like the center spot. I'm sure there's been times in practice where he's been uncovered. Justin Evans has been uncovered, and he gets the backside backer like right now. It may take a second on Thursday, and that's a guy with experience, right? Oh, he moves different than that guy did that I've been seeing all fall camp.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the things that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Bruntz, as we're a week out here, have you done a season prediction? Have you kind of landed on what you think this looks like yet?
I'm getting close. I think.
He said,
I've been in the 8-4 camp for a while.
Okay.
been tending the fire in the camp there. So I don't know. I can get to 9-3. I think 8-4 is probably where I sit right now. But I don't think I've done my super official. This is my prediction for the season game by game thing yet. So at least in the fall, after seeing some things. So I'll I don't know. I think I'd be hammering the overs on that win total. I'm definitely in that camp. So yeah, I think 8-4 is probably where I'm at now.
Let me ask you something, Bruntz, on like a fun little anecdotal thing. Like personally, I know for you, Ravi, I'm just going to go ahead and insert Keona Davis. But for you, Bruntz, not in terms of level of importance or whatever, but who are you like most excited to see? Like, oh, I hope he's good. Like, just allow yourself to kind of be a fan for a second. Like, who are you excited to see?
I've got one besides Keona, too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
I mean, Keona's on
there.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Bruntz.
There's the part of me that I want to see what this Archie Wilson thing's all about. I want to see. I want to see the banana ball. I want to see that. I want to see
the bananas and the boomerangs.
Yeah, both feet. I want to see all that. I just based on past production, I am very eager to see what Watson Trent looks like in this defense at this level. Like he seems like the kind of guy at linebacker, size-wise, everything that like you can kind of root for, I think, as a fan. Like just extremely productive. I'm eager to see if that holds true at Nebraska, but you know, that catches my attention. And then I think if there's somebody, I'm trying to give you one on each side here. Yeah, here I have Ja'Cory Barney. I think.
Well, you know he's good.
He's still excited to see him.
I know, but there's another level there.
Yes,
there's multiple levels there, right?
He's got he's pretty good.
So can they get him down the field?
Dude is pretty.
He's gonna make some contested catches. I want to see some of those. I think he's just the passion he plays with makes him really easy to watch, and I'm eager to see what he looks like this year, because I think there's a lot for him to unlock still.
I aspire to be like Ja'Cory Barney. He strikes me as the type of dude, like if you asked him after the game and he just got to speak super freely and say, hey, has the game slowed down for you? And he's like, yeah. Have you ever watched me practice? Yeah. Tonight here in Kansas City, that was a lot slower than what I'm used to. Now, he's not going to say that, but he may think it if he plays well.
I mean, this is a guy that after his first spring game was talking about how he was going to, make sure Colorado
felt him
who he was. The other part that I want that to take off is because we need more Ja'Cory Barney interviews, I think, especially when things are going really well. That's what we need.
Absolutely. Somebody in the chat said I know you're not online this time, Bruntz, but somebody in the chat said one of my other ones besides Keona. Defensive side of the ball. A guy I just think is going to be fun to watch this year, Vincent Shavers.
Oh yeah,
I want to watch Vincent Shavers like wreck some people.
Yeah, the funny thing is too, if you want a sample of that, Bruntz, I was just having this conversation this morning before the show started. Shavers is a guy that didn't really take off until Butler got his hands on him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So imagine a whole off season with the whole Butler Shavers thing. Like,
I think Shavers going to be a menace.
He's definitely capable.
I'm excited to see Shavers.
Watson Trent and Shavers are two guys. I mean, I think some linebackers are like this anyways, but they're very good moving forward downhill, and I'm eager to see how that plays in this defense, because I think there's going to be a lot of that. So I don't know. That good linebacker play is always just more,
it's fun
it makes
to watch.
Everything better.
Do you know who I thought? Do you know who I thought you were going to say, Bruntz? And I don't know why, because you don't talk about him a ton, but it just seemed like very Bruntzian. I thought you may say McCullough. Schaefer may say McCullough. I thought you would say McCullough.
No, he's basically the chief of the Ochoa camp right now. I think my colleague is. So,
well, him or Cam Lenhart.
Yeah.
Shafe's all in on Cam. He may end up looking very, very, very smart.
Are all of us dumb? Good. None of us said Dylan.
Kind of weird.
There's a part of me that's just like, okay, if Dylan year 2 is what I think he is, that's by far going to be the most fun thing to watch.
Well, if the offseason goes how it's gone, I should have answered DJ Lagway, right? And everybody's more excited to see him than Dylan.
Oh, here
exactly.
you go. Here you
well,
go.
Well, don't forget Arch Manning and his 90 pass attempts are.
Yes.
He's already having to dispel rumors that he's not going to the NFL early. So
yeah, I feel like you two are back in cahoots. You did well for 29 minutes.
It's okay. Well, we're probably going to see each other next week when we go see Miller North rename a street for our guy Eric Crouch. So,
hey, so what's the travel itinerary, Bruntz?
Well, it's just a quick one. BC and I going in the day of, day out, or quick overnight and back in Lincoln by noon on Friday. Get back to work. So this is nice though. Like I miss these kinds of like quick road trips that you used to be able to do in the Big 12.
Big 12 road trip.
So are you so you're gonna roll the dice on I-29 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Godspeed.
Should I not?
I don't know. I think I-29 rots, but that's just me. But this is a guy that spends, I don't know, 7 weekends a summer in Kansas City. So I'm over I-29.
See, but we've got Highway 2, so I don't get much of the I-29.
That's
I
right,
Lincolnite.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were suggesting like back roads, because then you're inviting deer into the conversation, which is never fun.
He's a big John Denver guy. Country roads take me home.
How are you gonna kill time from when you arrive till 8 o'clock?
I don't know. You kind of got to get over there early, right? Because it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably check into the hotel. I don't know. Beyond that, I hadn't really gotten that far yet.
Huh.
You got any suggestions? There's nothing out there. Like I have not been to. Here's the last time I was at Arrowhead in person. John Elway was quarterbacking the Broncos the last time I was in Arrowhead.
You know,
and they still had the artificial turf back then.
Now, I'm not going to kid you. I was just there for Kansas City and the Dodgers, and I will say this. I think they do a fantastic job of navigating traffic.
Okay.
So
it's actually not terrible.
I would just pay attention to when the gates. So when are they going to open the gates? Is it 2:30?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a pass. The media get in there earlier or later. I don't know what the rules are.
I don't know. I'm so paranoid. I'm going with the equipment guys, and they go. It's not.
They're probably there now, aren't they?
Well, on game days, they're the first bus to leave. So, and it's not ideal, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't trust me, so
yeah,
I better go with somebody more responsible. And it's Kyle's first rodeo, so. I want to be there. Yeah. I want to be there just to hang out, you know.
Yeah, how's that going to be? You got to kind of be the corner guy for him, right?
Yeah, he's fantastic. So he's really, really good natured, and he's excited, and he's kind of grimy. So they're leaving at like 10 on Wednesday to get set up.
Nice.
And he's with Benny Mack. So I think Jess is going to drive. So they'll get there, no problem, because somebody's going to get off the road with Jess driving.
They got an adult in the car at least.
Yes. So they'll be fine because they'll let Jess is going to take over. I'm guessing B-Mac will be the backseat quiet guy, and Kyle will just go with the flow. He's been really cool because he's just like a canvas, man. He's taking in all the colors, and he'll decide what he wants the picture to look like later. So I'm pretty excited for him.
Nice.
That's our guy, Michael Bruntz, Husker247. Bruntz, we'll talk to you next week on a game day.
Whoa. Get excited.
Are you ready?
He said,
yes,
whoa.
I am.
That's the most excited we can hear Bruntz's voice right there.
And you get to come back to Millard North, Millard West, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be that night, so I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah.
I'm upset about it.
Welcome to the crowd.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, you're not missing anything. It's fine.
Still pissed.
Bruntz, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, see you guys.
See you, Bruntsy.
Last time I was at Arrowhead, I've been to Kaufman a bunch since then. Last time I was at Arrowhead, 2002. Florida State, Iowa State, Eddie Robinson Classic.
Yeah.
Seneca Wallace, Chris Ricks, 38-31, down to the wire.
You know the last time I've been on the field at Arrowhead?
When's that?
It was in a preseason game. And I remember the flight back. I'm like, I wonder what else I could do for job security.
That's got to be a good feeling.
I'm being perfectly honest.
No, I believe you. I just like that's got to be a wild feeling. Like you just got off a preseason game and you're like,
I'm like,
what else can I do for a living?
I'm like, no, I wasn't. So to help them out.
Oh, I misunderstood.
No, but I mean, if you just want to cut through the chase, yeah.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. I wasn't trying to be a dick. Like I thought you were like, I thought you were saying that was your like come to Jesus.
No.
The NFL might not be for me moment.
No, I gave it a couple more runs of getting cut after that.
Because you do have that moment, right, where you're like, maybe this isn't going to happen.
It took a while. It took years.
Okay.
It took me years. I was pretty hard headed.
Well, you know.
And I would look at guys and I'm like,
I'm better than that guy.
Yeah. And it was absolutely true. But there's this whole availability thing.
Because you had a hamstring thing, right?
Yeah, when I tore it, and it, that is what it is. But I did realize one thing, like relationships, like running back coaches will move and OCs, and they'll go get guys that become available like first priority.
Yeah.
So you have to negotiate that too.
Yeah, we saw it in just because I pay more attention to it. Like Raheem Mostert, as soon as Mike McDonald went to Miami, where's Raheem Mostert end up?
Oh, yeah.
Miami, right? Like, and that's a guy who spent 8 years trying to find a job in the league.
Yep.
Right? He found one with the 49ers, and as soon as their OC goes, he goes with it. So I mean that makes sense. Like you've got guys that sort of fit your eye and that you like, and I'm sure it helps to continue getting jobs that way.
Can I ask a question? Is it easier to go from Kansas City to Kansas City from Lincoln?
I don't know.
He just brought up something interesting with Highway 2.
Highway 2 to 29. Or how long do you take? I don't think I've ever driven from Lincoln to Kansas City, so I'm not sure.
So the only thing I do heading towards Lincoln to Kansas is if occasionally when we go to Wichita, like I'll get off at through York and head south. I've never gotten on like 77 in Lincoln and headed that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only ever gone from Omaha, just 29 the whole way down.
Because when I go Wichita, I totally take York through Geneva.
Yeah, because Wichita's far enough west, right, that it doesn't make sense to take 29. Or, I mean, you can, but it's...
I wonder if it is easier for Lincoln. I don't think 29 from here to Kansas City is all that sweet.
I mean, it depends on how much construction stuff's going on, right?
It's always something.
Like, there's a lot. I mean, especially once you get kind of into Kansas City, 29 gets messy. Typically, 29, 35, depending on where you're going. But
I don't know. And maybe it might be one of those weekends where you stay the night and you don't come right back.
Yeah.
If you come right back after the game,
that's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think the Friday morning is the way to play it.
Yeah, sweet baby Jesus. Thank the Lord I get to fly back.
Let's take a quick break here. We're going to get to Gary Dolphin this is our last one, right, Shane? Our last preview with Iowa?
Yeah. For regular season.
I just want to hear his
knock
voice.
on wood.
We're going to get to our guy, Gary Dolphin, the voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes, as we wrap up our Nebraska season preview just in time for game week. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla, more Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Obviously, the single-digit thing here is a tremendous honor for everybody 0 through 9 because, like we have coaches have nothing to do with it. It's 100% based on the opinion and the respect that your fellow players have for you, which ultimately in football, we're trying to get these guys to play as hard as they can, as physical as they can, and execute at a high level and do it for each other. That ultimately is the kind of the bonding formula. The fact that you're doing it for your teammates, you're not out there playing for yourself. So if you then get voted as one of the 10 players to wear a single digit, I think that's just a testament of what the players think of them. And with Vincent, obviously, he went from 1 to 9, which meant he was revoted into that capacity as opposed to just keeping his number 1. So I really believe that any of those players that have been voted into that position that then accepted that number, they should feel great about how their teammates think of them, and then it is a tremendous responsibility to then uphold that.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, I have no idea how good we are right now, and I don't think many people do. And the bottom line is I can just tell you this. It's really been a good team to work with. I really like our team. Started out in January, kind of when the calendar flipped, a whole new team, new year, new challenges, and like the guys, like their attitude, like the way they've worked, been very, very positive. And I think we're also getting good leadership, maybe something didn't see coming quite as strong as it's materialized. And I think the guys have a good work ethic. So they've done a good job to this point. College football, you've got different phases, and I think they've handled each and every one really well.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Gary Dolphin, the play-by-play voice for Iowa football, to preview the Hawkeyes as we work our way through Nebraska's schedule. Gary, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, Rob. Robbie and Damon, good to be on with you. It's coming fast here. Another, 7 days, and we kick off. It's hard to believe, but I guess the older you get, the quicker the calendar moves.
Yeah, that golden voice. Looking forward to it, Dolph. It's interesting. I think Coach Ferentz, sometimes he gets accused of kind of that coach speak, but to his credit, considering he's done it so long, you do know what to listen for, right? When he says things like, hey, the leadership kind of came along quicker than maybe I expected it to, that's got a lot of value for a guy that is the dean, right? He'd know what it feels like when he sees it. That's definitely something you can put some stock in, right?
Yeah, great observation. I mean, Kirk is the master at throwing subtle little hints out there, and I picked up on that when I just heard him say, typically you can re-rack Kirk's comments from every Big Ten media get-together annually and run the same thing. But when he talked about leadership this year, it goes right to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's where Iowa has, I don't want to say lacking. It's not that the other quarterbacks weren't good people and leaders, but this kid Gronowski is the real deal. I mean, he knows north and south. 133 career touchdowns, 10,000 yards passing. He's 49-6 as a starter. Most of that, obviously, at South Dakota State. But you guys know as well as I do, it starts with the quarterback, and I'll guarantee you that's directly where that leadership comment comes from, because this is Tim Lester's room now. He's got the guys that he's wanted. They run the Green Bay Packer offense. You throw in Hank Brown and Jimmy Sullivan, and they got Stratton back from last year, led him to a couple wins. So it starts at quarterback. That's your leadership group, and I think they're pretty solid. And obviously Lester is highly regarded as a coordinator.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm very familiar with Gronowski. A couple of my buddies have been on that SDSU staff. My really good friend is their head coach now. Was trying to do everything he could to keep him there. Dolph, when you're looking at, you talked about the win total and kind of the moxie, and it was a successful program he's coming to. Is that kind of the great equalizer when people maybe want to pick at, conference jumps or FCS to FBS? There is something about having won a ton that can level the playing field. Do you agree?
Absolutely agree, 100%. And not only win, but he's won back-to-back national championships. And, you just look at the new head basketball coach in Ben McCullum. He's won 4 national titles at Northwest Missouri State. And my lead line is always, I don't care where you've coached or at what level you've coached. If you're winning national championships, you've got a good base, a good foundation. I'm over here in the eastern part of the state. When I worked local TV, I covered Bo Ryan for all the years he was at University of Wisconsin-Platteville. He won 4 Division III national championships. And when he made that jump, even to UW-Milwaukee, which had been a down program, and obviously to Wisconsin, Barry Alvarez actually turned to Bo and said, okay, the Rick Majerus didn't want it. Mark Few didn't want it. You got it, Bo. Well, how'd that turn out for the Badgers? Pretty good. A couple Final Fours. And so to my thinking, there's a way that quarterbacks carry themselves, guys, as you know. So here's a 5th-year guy. Could have went to the pros. Might have been a, 3rd, 4th, 5th round draft pick. He's 6'2" or 3, 230 pounds, can run. He's got a moxie about him. He's got a gait about him that you want to see in a 5th-year guy who's won national championships. And we all know how good South Dakota State is. Mark was kidding. I think it was spring ball before he was throwing regularly. He said, I remember. He said, I can't wait to get 70,000 people on my side. And I had forgotten he was a freshman quarterback. The night that Iowa scored 2 safeties and a field goal, and beat South Dakota State 7-3, if I remember. I don't think they lost a game the rest of the year, but Gronowski rolled through the back of that north end zone late in the game, and he said, I'll never do that again, certainly not as an opponent. And Jack Campbell came bearing down on him, and I don't know if they tipped the ball. We got another safety. And as he said, that's what I'm looking forward to most, is having 70,000, and can it pull for me instead of hate my guts? And, there's something to be said for a guy who just talks like that and carries himself like that. And he's definitely a leader.
So you add some talent in the quarterback room with Gronowski. You lose a big talented piece with Caleb Johnson in the running back room, but you do return Kamari Moulton, who had some pretty nice reps last year as well. What do you think the kind of balance is there between maybe improving the quarterback play and having somebody less proven in the backfield?
Yeah, and then we'll just spin backwards a year. Nobody knew what they had in Caleb Johnson at the time. I mean, he hadn't really. I mean, Kamari Moulton and he had similar numbers up until that time. Kamari had 400 yards rushing in a backup role last year, and he's solid. So is he going to be Caleb this year? Who knows? Jazz Patterson is a lean, solid 205-pound kid, 212 pounds. He's put on a little weight at 6'2". Ty Washington runs a 4.4, 4.3.5, 4.40. They moved him back to running back. He was a slot receiver a year ago, and they ran a lot of jet sweeps with him, and they will again this year. And then they got 3 freshmen. You know, at Iowa, guys, as you know, it doesn't matter what the name is. They're going to run the football. And in Lester's system, they throw to the backs a lot. You know, see Aaron Jones in Green Bay. That was Lester's design, and they threw the ball to Aaron Jones. And Lester will tell you, throwing to the running backs sets up the downhill pass or downfield passing game. And he's so right. And so I think they have a number of options. I can tell you in watching, you know, a handful of practices here in the last few weeks, they've got 3 freshmen, Brevin Dahl, who's from, ironically, Adele. They got Xavier Williams from Indiana and a kid named Nathan McNeil from Tampa, who have really flashed. Now, there's only so many handoffs in practice and in game day. So you're going to see Moulton, Patterson, and Washington as the 3 main guys. But I'm not at all concerned about the running game, due in large part to the offensive line, which is one of the higher-rated lines coming back in college football, let alone the Big Ten.
And that's where I was going next, because this is the easy one, and we talked about it almost all offseason. One of the things, if you're playing Iowa, you better be well aware of is this is probably more of your vintage Iowa offensive lines. I don't think they're going to have to roll in or evolve as the season goes on. This is a good, strong, experienced group. And kind of a misnomer. It hasn't always been like that, whether it's been health or shuttling in a few young guys to transition. Last couple of years haven't quite been like it's going to be this year. Is that accurate?
And due in large part to injuries and position switches. Jennings Dunker came in as a guard, and right now Pro Football Focus has him as the highest rated right tackle coming back for his senior year. And when Logan Jones decided to come back and use his grad year at center, Logan was nicked up last year, and he feels that another year of seasoning at the Big Ten level will impress NFL scouts even more. So with those 2, Jones and Jennings as a base, they've added in some real maulers. I mean, Bo Stevens started most of last year. He'd been hurt for 2 years, and he's at 1 guard. And then I'll give you a name, Cade Pieper is his name. He's out of Norfolk.
Right down unfortunately, Dolph, down the street. Did a lot of his games in state championships. Good player, man.
He is an assassin. I'm telling you.
Mean-spirited.
Got another kid. Oh man, you love that nasty attitude if you're an offensive lineman. And he's pushing, 290, 295 now. He came in here about 270. And that's so vintage Iowa. You use the word vintage. They spend a couple years building you up in that strength and conditioning room, and then they get 2.5, 3 years to go out and show their wear, and most of them end up in the NFL. And left tackle has been the question mark. Mason Richmond left a year ago. He's on an NFL roster, but they're fighting it out between Jack Dotzler, who's a junior, and then a guy that's probably going to win the job eventually, Trevor Lauk. He's out of Indianapolis, and he is just a bad dude. And so they have got a nice mixture of 3 upper-class leaders and 2 or 3 redshirt sophomores. They're pretty well set if they stay healthy.
Gary, we've talked a lot about the offensive side of the ball, probably because we sort of just assumed the defense is going to be a given at Iowa. But unlike last year, there is a little bit more turnover in the lineup there this year. Is this one of those, hey, what has been is going to be with Iowa, the defense will be there with Coach Woods taking care of everything, or you have any concerns on the back end there?
Well, there's certainly concerns because when you think back just the last, 6 years, they lost Jack Campbell, then Jay Higgins. But that's the point, because nobody knew who Jay Higgins was, kind of like Caleb Johnson. And he bided his time. He learned from Jack Campbell, who learned from, the Josie Jewells and James Morris and all those great middle linebackers that preceded them. And so it's Phil Parker's system, and they don't play unless they know Phil Parker's way. And Seth Wallace, a great, obviously, linebacker coach. He's a head coach in waiting. So I'll start with the linebackers. The only real significant returnee with experience is Carson Shire. And that's important. He had a great spring camp. He's had a great fall camp. And here's a kid who cut his teeth on special teams, like most of those backers do at every program. But Carson, he'll be at the will. They moved Jackson Rexroth, a kid out of Cedar Rapids, Xavier, and we know what Xavier produces. See Quinn Schulte, see 4 or 5 other guys. They moved him down from safety to the Leo, and then in the middle, it's going to be either a legacy player, Jaden Montgomery. Jerry Montgomery's a D-line coach with the Packers, was a terrific player for Hayden Fry, or Jaden Harrell, a kid out of Urbandale, who's bigger and more footballish looking, but Montgomery, he'll hit you. And so I think the talent is there. And if anybody falters, guys, these 3 redshirt freshmen, they are the future at Iowa, and they're all Iowa kids, led by Preston Reese out of Monticello, Williamsburg, another Williamsburg kid, Derek Weisskopf, and Cam Buffington, who's from Just Settle's hometown of Winfield. Those 3 redshirt freshmen were superstars, wrestlers in high school, and they're just chomping through their mouth guard to get in there. And you'll see them, but if these 3 veterans in front of them perform like I think they can, they'll be okay at linebacker. Up front, you've got 3 guys that bring 6.5, 7 sacks apiece back from last year. Aaron Graves is as good as it gets at D-tackle, and then you have those 2 defensive ends. I know Nebraska fans will remember Max Llewellyn at the end of last year's game, and then Ethan Hurkett, who has been a stud for 3 years, going on 3 years as a starter. They lost Y.A. Black, so they're trying to fill that hole. And I think it's going to be another South Dakota State kid, Bryce Hawthorne, who's had a tremendous career at SDS, and now he's a Hawkeye.
You want to another bit of overlapping deal there. When they were first having the coaching change at SDSU, Dolph caught wind of it early. Obviously familiar with some guys at SDSU. When Hawthorne became available, I told their new head coach, I said, hey, I know Coach Jackson, they just hired you. I said, your first recruiting deal, you got to go get Hawthorne out of the portal. Kid's going to be a stud. And he had kind of narrowed down his visits. Nebraska wanted him to come in, and he'd shut it down right before that. As a Minnesota guy, I kind of wanted to stay in the region. And I read Iowa, and I'm thinking, small world, just our luck. Like, listen, Dolph, listen, Dolph, he can play too. Like, Hawthorne, he can flat out play. He's going to be a good one.
Well, he loves to get down in the dirt. I mean, he's 6'2", 6'3". That's not Dr. J size, but he likes to get down. He's got great leverage. He gets low pad level, and he's from just across the border up there in Osceola, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And I interviewed him 2 weeks ago. I said, a Minnesota kid coming to Iowa. I said, you know how much we love that? And he just smiled. He's got a great attitude, a great sense of humor, and he's just one of, I think, 3 candidates at that vacant tackle spot. They've got another kid, Jonah Pace. As you guys know, Iowa really doesn't get into the transfer portal a whole lot. I think they've got 6 or 7 this year. But they love not only Bryce, but they love a kid named Jonah Pace, who's come in here from Central Michigan. He had a great year at Central Michigan the last couple years, actually. So he's in for a one-and-done year. So, they pick and choose. That's the Iowa way. And usually, they open up with Albany, and then they head to Ames. Kirk's going to be the all-time winningest coach in the Big Ten when it's all said and done this year. That could come in week 2 at Ames. That would be interesting, to say the least. But he's not concerned about that. But I think this defense, I didn't mention the secondary where they lost a lot of good players. But Xavier Wampa's back. They flipped him to the free safety. And they got a headhunter named Zach Lutmer from Rock Rapids. And you know how they grow them up in northwest Iowa. Those 2 will be at the safety position. They've got Deshaun Lee and TJ Hall back at the corner, but they've got other guys, a couple freshmen that are really flash. So we'll see. But Phil Parker, you've watched him from afar for years. When it's all said and done, Parker just looks at you and yawns and walks away, because he knows as long as that system is in place, Hawks are going to be pretty good on balance.
Yeah. That is our guy, Gary Dolphin, the voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Gary, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes,
Paul. All right, thanks, Dolph. Appreciate it.
That is Gary Dolphin, that golden voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
It's funny, man. Parker will tell you in his defense, lowest percentage completion because quarterbacks don't know how to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything out there swings wides to the backs. He's going against the guy on a day-to-day basis that Lester likes to throw it to the backs. You don't have to tell Nebraska fans. They saw Caleb Joseph on the swing pass.
Yep.
Yes. It'll be interesting.
That's
very interesting. I wonder how much that Iowa State game is going to tell us about their actual season.
Yeah.
Be curious. I called Nebraska several times about Hawthorne. About 3 days too late.
That's all right.
He can play.
We'll see what happens. That's the show for today. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week. It's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.